Daddy.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the 4th episode of Save It for the Podcast. My name is Jack.
I'm Joe.
Joined together, by my brethren around the picnic table. That's right, we're back outside. I'm here with Joe, Jeremy, Roy. Mitch, unfortunately, isn't here today. He's got to work.
Is that really unfortunate?
We'll see. We have a very special guest, our first ever special guest.
Emphasis on special.
We have, from Twitch TV, BeatYeah himself, our old friend, dear friend, Kyle Unzred. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Hey, fuck
What's
you!
going on, man? What's going on?
What did you just say?
How you been?
Casey Frey? Don't you know Casey Frey?
No.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. I just followed him on Facebook.
Yeah.
Did you see his dancing?
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Did you see the one where he's like, he did like the Bowery started like, he's like,
I think my favorite one is when he's like got taking out the trash. That's the. I think I watched it at least like 3 times a week.
I quote him all the time. Like, can I sing for you?
You guys gotta check this guy out.
Oh,
I'll check him out. I'll check him out.
Is he weird or like?
Yeah, it's like our humor.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was on
perfect
Vine.
then.
He was a Vine
Oh,
star,
that makes sense.
back in the day.
Welcome to Chili's.
We have a lot to talk about today.
Yes, we
It's
do.
gonna be a longer episode. We're finally doing our top 10 music albums.
Shit. I'm doing
Joe-
top 5.
We're doing
Kyle,
top 5.
I'm doing 5.
We're doing top. No,
top 10.
We're doing top 10.
No, fuck
Okay.
you guys.
Refer to
Okay.
me as my
That's fine.
title, BeatYeah,
Fuck
if
you,
you don't
dude.
mind.
Joe and Kyle only have 5. That's fine. Because Joe has to leave.
Yeah.
Joe has to leave in a little bit.
What time do you have to leave again?
3:20.
3 what?
3:20.
What time is it now?
2:15.
Kyle,
Excellent.
we got to ask you the most important question. Favorite movie?
Favorite
or a movie you enjoy?
Listen, I watched it a million times, Toy Story 2.
It's so
Really?
good. That
It's
is
such a
masterpiece.
good-
It's
Not
a
a bad
masterpiece.
choice.
Beautiful.
Not a bad choice.
It's-
Not a bad choice.
Are you excited for the 4th one?
Who the fuck is?
No, not at all.
Who the fuck is?
I hardly knew of its existence.
You guys want to see it?
No.
I haven't watched.
I'll see it.
I haven't
I'm
watched-
going to see
I
it,
don't
but
want to.
No, well, I watched Toy Story 3, but I haven't really watched any of the new generation of like Pixar films. Like, you know, the monsters.
They're all pretty
the
good.
Monsters University.
Monsters University. That's the worst one of them
Yeah,
all.
Really?
that's
I think so.
the
I
worst
would
one.
rather watch. I'd rather watch Cars 2 than
Everyone
that.
hated it, dude.
Just saying.
Everyone hated it.
It's not that great.
It was
I
something that
forgot
did not
about
need to be
Cars.
made that was made.
Toy Story, fun fact about Toy Story 2, they were going to make that a direct-to-video movie, but then they're like, this is gold. We have to make a theatrical release.
Of course.
It's
It
Good
was
thing they
cool.
did.
It might be my favorite
Yeah, me
about
too.
Pixar, to be honest with you.
Wall-E. Got it.
Wally's
Well,
good. Wally's
Wall-E
good.
is fantastic
Yeah.
by itself, but
Yeah.
Toy Story's got its.
There's a
it-
lot
its
of
own
good
universe.
Yeah.
Pixar movies. More than, like, Disney movies.
Well,
You
because Pixar, Disney's done a lot more,
But Pixar is
but
a specific
Pixar
studio.
is really like not
Yeah,
that's
they-
just- it's
they have their own
They
thing
have
going.
every movie they've made with the exception of like 3, 4.
Yeah.
They're pretty solid. With Disney, you got like 10. You got 10 here, but then there's like a chunk of them where it's like the Wreck-It Ralphs. I'm not a fan of Wreck-It Ralph.
No,
I
I'm
like
not
the
a fan of
first
Wreck-It
Wreck-It
Ralph.
Ralph
It's
movie.
cringy. It's a little cringy.
Well,
for me.
it's a children's movie, but it's
It's
lot
a
of,
good-
yeah, but a lot of children's movie can still
Yeah,
they can
it's-
still work. For
Did you guys
any
see
audience.
Coco? Last
I
year?
love
did not.
Coco.
Coco.
I haven't seen
Give
it.
it a
But
whirl.
I need
the
to see
only
Coco.
You know
thing...
In a Discord I'm in, another streamer I know, Maj, he just said he was going to watch it today. I'm going to miss it, though. I'm going to be asleep.
It's so good. It
Is he
harkens.
watching it on stream?
no,
okay, good.
it's like a sub movie.
Okay.
It harkens back to that old Pixar, which
Harkens.
made them like
I like the word
My...
You
harkens.
can't stream movies. They get
It'd be
banned.
weird.
They'll
Yeah.
be banned.
you Roy. You probably have a really special connection to that movie since you're.
Well, kind of. But my only gripe with the whole movie is that it's very predictable. And when I was
Agreed.
in the movie theater with my sister, we both said at the same time, "Oh, I
Mm.
bet this and this, and then this is gonna happen," and
Yeah.
it did. Like, holy shit!
Jeremy, did you see Coco?
Not yet, no.
What's your favorite Pixar?
I know with the first Toy Story.
I'm gonna
Actually.
rewatch those next week. Rachel
Oh,
and
me
I,
too.
We're
Before
doing,
4.
Yeah, very excited. Should we just get right to movie club?
Yeah.
Jeremy, you sentenced the movie club was David Cronenberg's A History of Violence. Take it away, man. Incredible movie.
So
Jesus.
I've watched this, actually. I watched this with Kyle at work, actually, the same night that the last podcast.
Is that the only reason he's here?
No.
Well, that's one
He's
of the
also our
reasons.
guest.
Wow.
Yeah, show some respect,
Gross.
Joe.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
He's
You
our
know what,
biggest-
Joe?
he's
I'm
our
tired of
biggest-
your shit.
He's our biggest supporter.
You've been tired of my
I'm
shit
your
for the
biggest-
last 5
your
years.
I've been
biggest-
tired
Alright,
of you.
Hey, if it weren't for this man, you would not be listening to us right now.
That's true.
Because this man is the reason that we started this
He's our
podcast.
first.
Hi, Annie. Hi, Don.
He's he's our.
Hi. Hey, Annie, Don, we love
Hey
you.
Don,
We love
I don't know who you are, but I love you.
Danny, on, we love you.
Fuck you.
So yeah, History of Violence is a good movie, guys.
Yeah, continue.
Wow, I was expecting to love this. I was not expecting to love this that much. This movie, every time that you think you know what's happening in the movie, he says, "No, we're doing something else. New plot, new bad guy," and there's 3 different sets or villains, whatever you want to call it, and all of them they get better somehow. I don't know how. They're all fantastic. I've never seen a movie balance this many antagonists in the same movie.
Technically different storylines.
Different storylines and work it. This movie
in an hour and a half too.
and only an hour and a half. 3 different stories.
That
3 different
perfectly
antagonists.
intersect.
Perfectly intersect. And this movie. Tell me if this is correct, Jack, because I think besides Roy.
He gave it a 5. I gave it a 5.
Well,
Five.
five.
We all 5.
Except Mitch.
Mitch gave it 2 stars, but we're not talking about negative.
What the what?
He doesn't like slow movies.
He gave Captain Marvel a 4 and this a 2. Just saying.
But he doesn't like slow movies.
And
so.
Booksmart 5.
He gave
And
Booksmart
John
a
Wick
5?
3
Yeah.
5.
Oh, we saw. But I like
John Wick
Booksmart.
3 was.
Well, I mean,
a 4.5.
I like him too, but
No,
better
it's
than
Not, it's not a 5. Better than Apocalypse Now? No.
No,
Exactly.
It's not.
What was
Exactly.
What was your question?
What I was gonna say was what I was thinking at the end of this movie was that this is like a weird combination of Blue Velvet and John Wick,
Yes.
and it works.
You
Yeah.
might
So,
you might have the
You know what
chance
we
so
today.
talked
beautifully.
about? The action wasn't fast John Wick style. It was slow, impactful.
But it felt more real.
And the gore. The gore.
It was basically after John Wick. You didn't see him do it, but you saw the result, and you were like, "Holy fuck! How the fuck did he do that?" Rather than seeing him actually
It
do
was
that.
Joey Wick.
Exactly.
Or should we say what was his other name?
His other name
Joey.
Was Joey. It was Joey.
No, what was
Joey.
Tom.
Oh,
Or should we say
Tom.
Tom Wick?
Tom Wick.
Who knows? No, Joey.
I'm gonna make a bold statement here.
John Stahl.
Vigo's best role. I mean,
Yeah.
he did Lord of the Rings. He did Green Book. I mean, he's done.
I don't know.
He's
He's
such a creepy face.
I can agree with it.
love him.
I can agree with it.
I can. Yeah, I can bet.
David Cronenberg's best movie.
So far,
No.
so far for me,
I can't.
I've only seen Videodrome, The Fly, and this.
The
And
Fly,
this
Scanners, and this
I've
are
never
all
seen
like
Scanners.
What about
masterpieces. I only seen clips and pieces of
Oh, you haven't seen it.
Videodrome.
That's right.
I enjoy this probably just about as much as Blue Velvet. Probably. They're right there. I don't know which one's better.
Blue Velvet's better, in my opinion.
But I can't.
It's
I
a
can't
different
pick.
beast. But I
They're
understand
different,
comparing
yeah.
them.
In terms of my personal enjoyment, I can't. I don't know. They're neck and neck. I would say that's probably where I put it.
I like how this movie. It's like I read Roger Ebert's review, and I wrote about it in my letterbox how he analyzes the title.
What did he
He's
give it?
a 3.5 out of 4.
Okay.
He said that the title means like a history of violence, so like dating violence back to when it began, a history of a man's violence, and a history of violence as it plays into how society acts. And all 3 work perfectly with each of the 3. How you said the 3, it felt it worked perfectly. I think it's a 5.
I feel like the first, in saying that, I feel like the first villain was a history of violence in society. Because,
Ed Harris with the eye.
yeah.
Yes. Or are we
No,
talking
that
about
was the second one.
The Bumpkins.
The Bumpkins, yeah. That was a societal thing. And then the other one was his past coming to haunt him. And then the third villain was...
confronting his
Yes.
brother. God.
Yeah, that was weird, man.
Is it funny that I thought it was not only like a movie, a really good movie made and all drama and crime and all that stuff, but also a comedy? I was laughing
When were you laughing?
a good amount of times.
Don't forget your shoes.
Yeah, don't forget your...
Don't forget your
And the brother. I was
The
laughing.
brother-
The brother's hilarious.
What
brother was
the fuck?
How
do you fuck that
That did make me laugh.
Joey.
Oh, he opens a door and there's
Joey.
his keychains.
Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name,
Joey.
Richie.
Richie.
Okay, so I'm not gonna the first 30
Jesus,
minutes of this movie, I was kind of bored, but then again, I had just woken up, and I was like, this may put me to sleep, but I was like, I couldn't skip through any of it, because I was like, I actually want to see what happens next. and then it kept getting better and better and better, and then every single time the conflict was resolved, I was like, wait, how the fuck are they going to take this any further? Then, bam, right in the face. It's like, that came out of nowhere, but I like it.
He's just the conductor. He's conducting this whole movie.
It was fantastic.
So, a question, Joe. Was it the sex scene that got you into the movie?
Oh, the Sarah one?
That made
Which
me
one?
really-
There's two of them.
That made me.
The
That one
first
made-
one.
The first one was nice.
First one was really
The,
nice.
the second one in the stairwell
I
made me
was
kind of uncomfortable
confused.
because it was
It was
almost-
very uncomfortable.
It was very rapey.
But
like,
she
it's-
was
No,
it
it did
did
start out.
Stop
yeah, that was-
hopping in the air, Kyle.
No.
It's the fact that I would disagree with you because it's the fact that she's been lied to their whole 15 years of marriage.
He
Yeah.
wasn't
16.
He wasn't having sex with her as Tom. He's having sex with her as Joey.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And she doesn't know who to expect anymore. She's frustrated because you're married to someone. You tell them everything.
Mm-hmm.
You kept the secret from her.
He's a whole different person.
Exactly.
I mean,
I
I
love
guess
how
it's like
he-
a getting to know you again sex. Like,
No,
just-
it's anger sex.
No, that was-
She's pissed off at him, and he's pissed off at himself.
I love how we just spoiled the movie.
Who cares? Yeah,
Who
spoiler
gives a
shit.
shit?
Spoiler alert!
They should have watched it.
It's a movie podcast.
They should
Of course
have.
we're
We
spoiling
told
it.
them to.
We
And
never
we
did.
told,
though.
we told the
Hey, so if you
audience
didn't watch
to
it,
watch
fuck you.
Yeah.
So let's
Fuck
wrap it up.
you.
Fuck
We all
you
give it a
guys.
perfect 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except for
except
Mitch.
Mitch.
Except for Mitch.
Because he
Okay.
doesn't understand pacing.
Should we get to the sentencing right now? Just out
Yeah,
the
let's
back.
get to the
Right
sentence.
out.
I'm gonna do Mitch.
Oh, shit.
Mitch
I don't even
Mitch
have
is
one.
first.
Let's see what Mitch.
I can't
gave
sentence
us.
anyone, but sentence me to movies so I can actually
Watch the
Yeah.
package on Netflix.
Well, hold on.
Like,
Hold on.
We'll wait for it.
Okay.
it's actually not bad.
So I was supposed to do a movie club, but since we have a guest, Kyle's gonna actually sentence us our movie club for next week to
I'll send you
discuss.
my
And the
movie
audience.
we chose.
And the audience. But we'll do that in a minute. Okay. Mitch has sentenced. Roy,
Better get a good move this time.
you like Ryan Gosling?
Eh,
You like Emma Stone?
Wish we could-
okay.
You like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone?
Not really.
You have La La Land.
Oh,
No! Can I just watch Mamma Mia instead?
fuck you, dude.
Jeremy?
God, fucking La La Land.
Oh, I actually fucked up. You don't have La La Land.
Oh,
Joe does.
I hope you kill yourself. I want you to know that.
You have a choice.
Okay.
Jeremy, you and I, you like war movies?
Yeah.
You like Shia LaBeouf?
Yes!
I love Shia LaBeouf.
love Shia LaBeouf.
We saw
both-
his dick.
Fury.
Such a good movie. You're gonna love it.
You and I
Wait,
have
what
Fury.
movie?
Fury.
is so good.
Wait, what do I have?
You have either Con Air or Fury.
Con Air! Yes! Yes! I've been
I mean,
wanting to watch
So,
that.
so this week I watched Shia LaBeouf's dick go inside of a vagina. And
What?
This?
Yeah,
We'll
we
talk
did.
about it.
We
We'll
did.
ta-
And it worked.
That's
With
what you
other
have to
people
talk
around.
about. You have to
At
talk.
work,
That'll be your
okay,
movie.
hold
What the fuck was this?
Hold on. We'll get to it.
Wait,
We'll get
It
to
was a movie. 2 movies.
Joe, what's your sentencing for everybody? Do Mitch first,
Mitch.
if you're listening. I have
Yeah,
to-
sorry. I have to think. I meant to think of movies on the bus, but I kind of forgot to. So, Mitch, I'm gonna say, fuck you. You get what? My Life is a Zucchini, because I actually watched it and I sent this
Yeah.
in that last time and I didn't watch it. I watched
Yeah,
it.
you
loved it.
Fuck
But you know what? I'm giving him a depressing movie.
So
but it's a good movie.
degenerate.
So
Don't
It's
worry,
so
he's getting fucked again
He
this
gets
week.
My Life is a Zucchini.
It's probably gonna have 2 stars.
Yes. Okay, so he's not a zucchini.
Okay, so he's not a zucchini.
Give everyone Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, everyone else, you get the Hunt for Red October.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh,
It's fine.
You get
man.
Fury.
Okay. Wait, what?
He's
get
seen
Fury.
Fury.
Have you seen Fury? Have you not?
Sure.
No, it's on your watch list on Letterboxd.
Oh, then I guess
Then-
everyone else gets Hunt for Red October.
And then you have Fury.
Wait, didn't I sentence you that already?
You
And
didn't
you
watch,
didn't
it,
watch
though,
it.
remember? Because you didn't watch my sentence.
Yeah, fuck you guys, watch it. Everyone watches it.
You still haven't.
What do you have for us?
Okay, so me and Jack are doing a little thing where we're choosing a director, and then everyone gets that director.
Oh, he has the bag.
So the director I chose is
Stanley Kubrick.
Takashi Miike.
I could have done that actually, but no. I am choosing Eli Roth this week. One of my favorite directors, one of the most underappreciated directors of the modern age, in my opinion.
I'm already
So,
writing Mitch's down.
I was having a little bit of trouble deciding who gets what movie, except for Mitch. Mitch if you're listening, I'm gonna pretend you're here. So, you like Eli Roth?
Me so sad. Me so sad.
You like
Still don't know what the fuck that's from.
you like seeing people getting tortured in movies?
Me so sad.
You like Eli Roth and people getting tortured in movies together?
Yes.
You're watching Hostel.
Oh God.
Yes,
Oh,
watching
God.
Hostel.
Yep, Mitch is watching Hostel.
And if he's already seen it, Hostel too.
This is gonna be fucked.
So the rest of these, so originally what I was gonna do was the rest of them. I have the Blu-rays with me, and I couldn't figure out who's getting what. So I was gonna just like randomly pick and just throw the discs at people. But I'm still doing that, but except for one person.
Mitch.
Joe?
Oh, okay.
I already know what you're getting. So last week you watched Mighty Joe Young instead of Joe, right?
Yeah.
So one could safely assume that you enjoy movies.
He likes
that
Apocalypse Now.
No, I hated it.
He likes Apocalypse
I
Now.
love
He likes Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now.
Apollo Now?
So one could safely assume you enjoy movies that take place in the jungle. Am I correct?
God.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Hey, you like the color green?
Green Inferno?
You're watching Green Inferno!
Alright.
You gonna get that Scream Factory?
BloodyDisgusting.com says a must-see for any horror fan. Anyone who sees it will be shocked. Jesus Christ.
If you're a fan of Cannibal Holocaust, you like this movie. It's basically an homage to it. So
I liked Cannibal Holocaust quite a bit.
They got the
you
director's
might like,
cut, man.
yeah. It's
That's awful.
I'm actually kind of...
it's one of my least
excited
favorite, but
for
I
this.
still thoroughly enjoy it. But that's what you're getting, Joe.
Wait, oh shit. Wait, have you seen Shudder?
No.
Actually,
No, but I use the app.
No, I'm
Yeah, I watch it.
I'm changing yours to Shudder. It's on Netflix. It's a Japanese horror.
I want to watch that
It's
for a while.
very
so-
much Ring-like.
Ooh, I like that too.
Would you guys all prefer that I change yours to Shudder?
Yes.
Yes!
Everybody
Shuffle it
watch
up. Why don't
Shudder
I
instead.
shuffle it up again?
Oh
It's
yeah.
on Netflix.
Well,
it was actually
shuffle up,
really
and
creepy.
then I'll grab in there.
It's got people give it like
Ooh.
2 stars on Netflix though, so I don't
Nice.
know. But I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right.
Creep the
What's-
fuck out.
All right, so
Let me know when to hand you it.
Kyle, Jack, and Roy
BeatYeah.
are all.
BeatYeah.
I'm doing Roy first because Roy's already seen Hostel, so I'm gonna make sure he doesn't get Hostel. So whatever.
Just
Okay.
pick one out, you fucking.
Well, no, I gotta shuffle it up, and then I will
There's 3.
grab in there.
There's 12 in there.
There's
Can't see.
kids.
Hostel Part 7, right?
Roy,
I'm getting hostile.
but I can't do that. So
I'm sorry.
pick another one. You're watching
No,
Cabin Fever.
I want to knock knock.
Please give me
Oh, he made Knock Knock? I haven't seen it, but I wanted to.
I thought you said you did watch it. You said you hated it.
Oh wait, you're right. I did. That's the one with
Keanu.
Yeah, I hated it.
All right, you hand it to me, and then I decide who gets it.
And what?
Without looking at it.
And knock knock.
No. Hand, just shuffle it up and hand one of them to me, and I'll decide whether Jack or Kyle
The
gets it.
gods.
Honestly, I'm kind of hoping this
Pick a
melons
hand,
on.
because I know which one it is. Pick a hand.
Oh my god,
All
are you
right,
serious?
Jack, you're getting the left hand.
Are you getting Knock
Oh!
You're getting
hostile.
Wait, so if you knew you weren't going to give him a hostile, why the fuck did we do that?
Do I get hostile or do I get knock knock then?
And Kyle gets to watch Knock Knock with me at Freezer.
No one knows what freezer is.
It's the post we work at.
Which is in the freezer because they're cold bitches.
So you don't even need this
It's only
because
94
We can watch it
minutes.
together.
Oh my god. I'm going to hold on to this.
I watched that today. I'm going to review it.
I have this on my DVR, but I don't have the unrated director's cut, so I'll watch that
Roy.
instead.
Cabin Fever, one of the most hilarious movies I've ever seen. Hostel, not so much, but
I kind of need
Fuck
something
you.
funny after the past 3 fucking weeks of depressing movies.
You're gonna
Don't worry.
Shudder is actually pretty depressing.
What are you saying?
When you find out the backstory, it's horrifying.
Joe, don't give it away!
But fuck you.
I don't know. Everybody gets Summer Wars. It's a anime, modern.
I actually like modern animes.
It's a little modern. It's from my favorite director. One of my favorite
Modern
directors.
animes are hit or miss. But their movies are usually good.
Okay.
Hit and miss.
Hit or miss.
So I did something
What
a
was
little...
What was
I'm
movie club
gonna
again?
stop right there.
What was movie
That
club?
meme.
oh wait,
are
we haven't
doing
done movie club.
I haven't sentenced yet.
Oh shit!
Oh.
You already go.
Oh, okay. You all have a choice. Oh,
Okay.
food. We have a guest. My mother's bringing us food.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank
I
you.
haven't eaten at all today, so this is
This video is not sponsored by Taco Bell.
Then why'd you mention the fucking name?
It's
That's
sponsored.
Okay,
Joe,
now
Joe.
we're sponsoring by. We're talking about.
Hey,
We're sponsored by
Tinder.
Twitch.tv.
Yeah,
/BeatYeah.
Twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
sponsored
speak-
by me.
That's
Enter the code and.
Enter the code.
There's no code.
You can buy my merch.
Buy his
You have
merch.
merch?
Buy my
have merch?
merch.
You have
Yeah, I
merch?
Buy
Talk
his
about it.
merch.
Uh,
Why haven't I plugged
the
it?
merch.
Where's the
Dylan-
discount?
Dylan runs the whole business.
Oh my God, he's
yeah,
still
he-
alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. He lives in Indiana now. I met him. I went up there and hung out with him. But yeah, he has like a little family business doing like school like club merch for like teens. And I got him to do my merch.
That's cool.
He gets his family gets money for it. I get a cut of it. Yeah, go. You can find it on my Discord. We can throw a link in the description. I guess.
I'll
Get the Connection Lost Discord merch.
think about it.
What kind of
I'll put it in the comments if you don't.
Yeah, all right. I like that better.
what kind of shirts are they? Maybe I don't want.
We have shirts and hoodies. I don't. It just
Do you have
says-
tank tops?
It's got a CL on it.
Yeah, you have tank tops?
We don't have tank tops. We have T-shirts. And
Get tank tops.
Get tank tops
I
for the
don't know.
summer.
I wish I
Maybe-
wore it. I don't think I. Yeah, I had a watch. Should have thought of that.
It's food. I'll gladly just
Check it out.
demolish
Yeah,
it.
just make sure you're talking a
Here
little
you go.
louder next time.
No.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
no one's gonna hear you.
All right.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Mom.
Mom. Taco. Kyle, you would like a taco?
I'm sorry, they just kind of like.
No, it's
There you
totally
go.
fine.
Thank you.
You're good. Okay. So I'm doing the same thing Jeremy is, where I pick a director. But I couldn't decide. We have 3 options here for you guys. So I'm going to describe the person. And you 3, Kyle, you ultimately have to do what they do, I guess. You 3 get a chance to decide based off the description of who to pick. You can do the poet,
Or the poet.
the lunatic,
Your eyes lit up.
or the action man. You 3 have to come to a conclusion. I want you guys personally to pick the poet.
I want the poet because I like people who are more poetic and
Sure.
can actually kind of like create a flow.
That's what I would
and
want,
artistic.
but
I want the lunatic, man.
Oh, I was gonna pick that one.
what do you want?
Action
Poet.
man.
All right, poet it is!
Okay.
All right, you guys are going to watch, since we're all going to go see The Dead Don't Die next week,
Dude, I'm so excited about that.
I'm sentencing you guys a movie from Jim Jarmusch, the director. Mitch, if you're listening, you like vampires? No! You like vampires and poetry? Yes! You have Only Lovers Left Alive, which is a vampire horror movie. I probably should have sentenced you it, Jeremy, but you might have my favorite one. Joe? You like Adam Driver?
Yeah.
You like poetry?
Yeah.
Do you like riding on a bus?
Yeah.
You have a movie called Patterson.
I'm down. I've heard it was good.
It's fantastic. Roy? Do you like samurai films?
Yeah.
Do you like modern samurai films? Do you like samurai films that don't have any Japanese characters at all?
Oh
I think I
yeah.
You have Ghost Dog.
I like
Have you seen it?
No, I don't.
I think I'm gonna pick 47 Ronin or who? I don't know.
Oh, I've
We
seen
can do
that
that.
one. I've seen it.
You should see Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, I heard about it. Don't
Jeremy,
remind me.
do you like music?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you like 3 separate storylines interacting together?
No.
History of violence.
History of violence.
Do you like Steve Buscemi?
Mm-hmm.
People shammy.
Do you like Steve Buscemi? 3 intersecting storylines and music?
No.
You have Mystery Train, which might be my favorite one. It's one of my favorite movies.
I think it's on my watch list already. If it's not, it's gonna
Add
be.
it. And I recommend, if you guys get hungry for a little bit more, watch Dead Man. That's a
man.
Kyle, you have Dead Man.
All right.
Kyle,
It better be on YouTube because that's where I watch my movies.
probably not, but that's okay.
Because I watch them at work. Watch all my movies at work. I've watched all the Marvel movies. Watched Into the Spider-Verse. It's fucking YouTube's great. $2.99 to rent a movie.
Oh, it's probably on YouTube then, if you don't mind renting.
Oh yeah, I don't. Because I rent it, I watch it once, I'll never watch it again.
What's our movie club?
What's our movie club?
Yeah, special guest.
What was the name of it again? One more time.
Naked Killer.
Naked Killer.
Oh.
Naked Killer?
All right,
1992 film.
A 1992 film. See, we were gonna. Can I say the name of the other movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I?
Um,
I'm gonna ask him.
yeah, do it.
All right.
I don't.
So the name of the movie is, and it's just the name of the movie. It's truly the name of the movie was "Raped by an Angel."
I wanted that.
There are five.
Six.
Six.
Five or six.
No, because we saw five, and there was another one after. There was a sequel to five.
There's 6 Raped by Angels.
There's 6 Raped by an Angel movies. And we were gonna settle on that, but we couldn't find any English subtitled version, so we settled on Naked Killer, which is akin to
The guy who wrote all the Raped by Angel movies directed this movie.
Yes, he directed this movie, so it's akin to the movie Raped by an Angel, which we haven't watched.
Supposedly, from what I've heard, is Raped by an Angel is a sequel to The Naked Killer. Or it's in the same universe, I think, or something along those lines, yeah.
Wow.
So the Raped by an Angel, you could say, is a spin-off, kind of...
Yeah, it's in the same...
Yeah, all right. Well, that's...
It's on YouTube?
That's terrifying.
It's on YouTube
that
for
there
free.
is a lore to this. That's awful.
And that there's 5 Raped by an Angel movies.
At 6.
6. And
So
probably
we have to watch-
counting.
And so, since it's a spin-off, 7 within the universe.
Okay.
Maybe more.
Maybe
we
more.
don't know.
Maybe more. Maybe some fan...
So do we know anything about this movie or no?
There's a killer, and she or him
She kills.
probably naked.
You're a cocksucker.
So that's that. We sentence you. Naked Killer on YouTube. It's a foreign film.
It's I think Japanese.
I think it's Korean.
Chinese.
Or Korean.
It's a Korean.
It's Asian.
Yeah.
It's
It's an
not-
Asian
It's
film.
not English, but there's English subtitles.
Give it a watch. Let us know what you think.
Probably think it's awful.
Guys,
It's got like a 3.3 or something like
has
that.
a 3.3 on Letterboxd, so I trust it.
That good?
Yeah, you should give it a Letterboxd. That's how you see. That's how you like learn about every like hidden movies and stuff like that. That's where we
And
review
you can
movies.
log all the movies you've
It's
seen.
so
You
cool.
can rate them, you can review them if you want.
Guys, we have a little time before we do our albums. Talk about a movie you guys watched. Joe, did you watch anything besides History of Violence?
Did
No,
I
we're
actually
talking
watched
about-
District 9 for the first time.
Oh, I love District
I've never
9.
seen that. Never seen it.
It's documentary / found footage style, and I enjoyed it. Morgan didn't, which I told her to shut the fuck up.
Who the fuck's Morgan?
My
Wow.
girlfriend.
What the fuck's Morgan?
And
Hey, a free dog!
Hey! Hey,
it's actually really disturbing. At first, you really do think that the aliens are the bad guys.
No
Yeah,
spoilers.
yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I want to.
But that quickly turns around the midpoint.
Mhm.
And it's really disturbing. And the end
Yeah.
shot
Yeah.
was so cool and
Yeah.
harrowing. 3 years later.
Dude,
Just-
that
I'll be
movie's
back in 3
really
years.
good.
It's
I'm
such a good movie. If
I'm
you
glad
haven't
you
seen
watched
District 9, I do heavily recommend it.
Yeah, I do as well.
It's
I
on
also-
my watch list.
I also did watch Shudder at the same time, the same night.
Well, Kyle, do you have a movie you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah,
We'll
we
come to
do.
you. We'll come to you in a minute.
Yeah.
He's eating.
Me and him are doing the same movie.
Well, then you pick one because I could chime in on that.
Okay.
2 movies.
We
You
saw.
just keep
Well,
talking
no,
like that.
Jeremy,
Good,
Jeremy, you have your
good
own separate
content.
one.
No.
Oh, you both want to do that one?
Oh my god, fucking swallow your
Okay,
food,
okay.
you fucking degenerate.
Yeah. Sullivan fell out of his jacket.
Trying to eat my food, Joe.
Nymphomaniac.
So me and
Shia
Kyle.
LaBeouf.
Me and Kyle. So why I even watched the movie? I was looking for Eyes Wide Shut, which I was sentenced last week on Netflix because it was on there. It's not on there, but the first suggestion that comes up is Nymphomaniac, and I didn't know it was on Netflix. So I'm like, we're watching it. So we watched it.
Horrifying.
There's 2 movies, Volume 1, Volume 2. Another Lars von Trier classic.
Oh, Lars.
Oh, Lars.
How's
Every-
that?
So many moments in this movie where we were, the whole entire movie, we just, like, as a joke, kind of, we were pretending like Lars was in the other room peeking around the corner. Can you like my movie? And there were so many moments where I was begging him to just not do it, and he did
He
it.
did. That-
Every time Lars did it to me.
It's my favorite. I've seen 4 of his movies. That's my favorite one.
It was fantastic.
I officially decided this is, after part 2, this is my favorite of his.
Part
Be-
2.
better than-
5.
Well,
Five for you?
after seeing part 2, like both of them together is
Do
my
you
favorite.
think that part 1 is better than part 2?
Yeah,
Or?
I like part 1 a little.
I like part 2 because
I
it's
thought
crazy.
good.
Part 2's insane, dude.
Part
Now,
one.
Part 2, from part 1 to part 2, there's a huge contrast to the content. It just shifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it goes downhill. It
Part
hits rock
2 is a
bottom.
lot darker.
I think
I want to see this one.
I think when I see that director's cut, because Jeremy, you're gonna borrow my Blu-ray.
Yes, I'm watching it probably tonight. Honestly, I'm bringing.
It'll be a 5, I think.
I'm going to a movie night at my friend Luke's house tonight, and I'm bringing that for sure.
Take
Bringing
care
it
of my
from
Blu-ray.
Hey,
Maniac.
Yes.
What I like about that movie is how like people hated it because it's like sex and all that, but like it deconstructs it, and I think it's pretty interesting. I won't say too much because we should get people to see this, but like
I still
it's
haven't seen it, but I know a lot
Netflix
about it.
done well.
I know. Part 2 is on Netflix.
I should bring it to your house and we'll watch the director's cut. 'Cause
I should
I'll
bring
be
it to
there.
his
I'll be
house.
there.
I love
This is
how
my
it
Blu-ray.
ends on
Yeah.
such a
No,
comedic note.
it's Joe's.
It ends. The
Oh,
end of the
it
movie.
ends-
It's so comedic.
Okay.
So funny.
I'm gonna.
No spoiler.
There's
spoiler.
two reasons why I like part 1 better than part 2. First of all, all the fishing references in the first movie. Every time she's talking about something, we're like, how is he gonna relate this to fishing?
So, for an
And he
example,
finds a way.
For an example, she's talking about a scene, and this isn't necessarily spoilers, right? If I'm talking about a specific scene, because it's very early in the movie.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
It's not really like a twist or anything. Like
Yeah, there's no twist, isn't a spoiler.
Turns
But
out she's a nymphomaniac. Oh my god!
Turns out there's nudity in the movie.
Oh my god, boobs!
Also many dicks.
and
So many. So
God,
many.
we got a
so
story
many.
for that.
Oh, story time.
Oh,
No,
no,
no, no,
no.
Oh, this is what you were talking about earlier.
So,
I see.
as an example to the parallels between fishing and sex, she is talking about how her and a friend go on a train together to fuck as many guys as they can.
Yes!
I love that scene.
As a bit of a contest for a bag of chocolate sweets, I
Yes.
believe.
Yes.
And so
I love that movie.
as she's walking through, and seeing in all the carriages of this train, or the cabins, excuse me, he's like, as she's like about to get into it, he's like, now hold on a goddamn minute here. He's like, you were like examining the stream, like scoping it out for the fishes. And it was like this whole thing, and she's just looking at him like,
Please, why
What
did I
is
go to your
wrong
house?
like
Is this guy turned on by fishing? What
There's
well,
a point.
I won't say anything, but you should just watch the movie.
you should
Joe.
watch the movie.
There's
Who
a
fucks a fish?
there's a point in I think the second
Shape
one.
water.
There's
As I've said before, that movie is bestiality with extra
The
stuff.
movie's
Oh,
fantastic.
fuck
though.
you,
I'm not
Joe.
talking about bestiality right now. I'm talking about nymphomaniac.
Yeah,
Which is
bestiality.
there's a point in I think the second one
I know.
where she literally says, "Are you even listening? Every time I'm talking, you mention something.
We should do this as a movie night.
This would be a great movie.
Yeah,
night.
fantastic.
5.5 hour director's cut, double
Fuck, are
feature.
you serious?
Joe, it
The-
goes
the-
by so
The,
fast. I couldn't believe
there is a theatrical cut. And
Yeah, we
it. That's
watched
how
the
I watched it.
Yeah,
we watched a
the
theatrical cut. There's an hour and 25 minutes total that we haven't seen yet. So
I can
Jesus.
only. No, I know.
There's a lot more
brutal,
nudity.
It's probably the most brutal hour 25.
yeah, because
in the
I
movie.
probably within the part where she starts trying to get off.
Yes.
Mhm.
We recommend Nymphomaniac.
I wanna watch it.
It's gonna be a fight.
It's-
Don't watch
Should have
it.
been my first Lars.
Watch it with your parents.
Fucking idiot.
It was my first Lars too.
Should have been mine.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, you got it.
my first was
How's Jack though?
no Dogville. I watched that like
first one?
2
My
years
first
ago.
was Jack that house
Are we gonna talk
built.
about the dicks?
Oh,
Jack that house built?
No, at the end, that's story
Jack
time. Story
built
time
a
is
house.
the dicks.
Okay.
That was a movie.
Oh, if you like Shia LaBeouf, you like seeing Shia LaBeouf's
Wait.
penis.
Do you like Shia LaBeouf?
You like Shia LaBeouf?
Do you like Shia LaBeouf's penis?
Yeah.
You like
Do
dicks?
you like Shia LaBeouf and his penis in the same movie?
Yeah. Get all that.
Watch Nymphomaniac!
With that, you're saving.
Yeah.
Just give me Eyes Wide Shut. I just want to know what happened.
You
Eyes
don't
Wide
deserve it.
Shut
Just
was
give-
a fantastic movie. There's two things. First of all, I don't personally enjoy watching movies that have like the plot revolves around the idea of cheating. Just for some reason, I don't know why it makes me uncomfortable.
Well, grow up.
That's not why I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
You sure?
Is it going to be a 5 on a rewatch?
No.
Maybe because I think I'm not sure if I like the very ending.
I understand. We'll talk off the podcast.
Okay, last scene was fantastic. I'm talking about like the last
The
maybe
word?
like 15.
The word.
I guessed it. I guessed the word. The last word of this movie. I was like,
you don't
I
want to
said
be
it.
able to guess shit.
I said it out loud, but it's not something. It's not because it's predictable. It's because
Kumquat.
I just like luckily said it.
Oh, you
Yes.
ruined it for yourself, big guy.
No, that might
No,
be.
it was great. It was
See,
great.
when we did our top 10, I had The Shining on my list, but that can easily be switched with Eyes Wide Shut. Like, Kubrick made 4 perfect movies for me, and that movie is so perfect to me. It's the perfect Christmas movie.
This to me, I've only seen. This is my 4th one. So I've seen The Shining, 2001, Clockwork Orange, and then this.
Please.
I think
Clockwork Orange. I have a story time for that.
this is ever so slightly probably below Clockwork Orange for now.
Give it a
It
rewatch.
could very well go above.
I'm telling you, it'll be a 5 on a rewatch.
I
That's how
definitely
it is
feel
for a lot of people.
It's just the
Rach-
ending. The ending, I was sort of lukewarm about how it wrapped up.
I showed this to Rachel, and she gave it like a 4.5. But the more she thought about it, so I think since you watched it recently, like past like 12 hours or so, whatever it was, I think you'll think about it more. It'll stay with you, and then it'll go up to a 5.
Well,
And now it's your
it'll-
favorite, Kubrick. So
Yeah. Tom
Roy?
Cruise is great in that movie
Yeah,
too.
his best
Love-
performance, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it's yeah. For now, I'll say yeah.
Libby, don't you dare puke on me.
What do you have to say? What movie, Roy? Do you want to talk about? Jack that house built.
No, fuck that shit.
See any good Persona films?
No, fuck that shit too.
Fuck yo
How
shit.
could you say that about
Paris, Texas.
Oh,
Was it any good?
One of my favorite movies of all time.
You know,
Talk about it. Lay it down, brother.
the way this movie starts, it's a mystery. Well, kind of. It's a slow. It starts off slow and it builds and builds and builds, and you love these characters. You love the dad. You want him to be happy, and then there's this whole arc. Like the last third of the movie is this whole thing.
The last 40 minutes get to you, man. They
Oh
do.
my god! And then when they reveal why he was gone for like 4
Are
years,
you
and
crying? I heavily cried in that movie.
man,
Spoiled it. Shut up.
oh, it caught me thinking about like how I'm running away from my own problems. I'm like, I haven't seen my mom in
That's
8 years, and like I'm afraid to talk to her. I'm afraid to even be near her. So this was kind of similar, like a similar feeling. Like I totally understood why they both ran and everything. And
This is when I first watched this movie. It was a year and a half ago, January. I'll never forget. I watched this in my room, and I was crying because like so many like repressed memories I had
oh yeah,
came flooding back, and I'm like, what is happening? And then I showed it to Rachel, and I was a wreck then. Too. It's such a powerful movie, man.
it's
Harry
really
Dean
good.
Stanton, top 10 best performance I've
Oh.
ever seen.
For sure. I wasn't crying. I was just more soulless
You
than
felt
anything. Well, first of all, I just saw last week. I saw Good Will Hunting. What do you want from me? And then after that, I saw Turtle Sunshine. I don't.
I was gonna send some Manchester by the Sea as a
Oh,
joke,
God.
but I ultimately
Let's not
couldn't.
hurt him that hard.
God,
Have you seen that?
I still
No,
to
but
this
I
day
know
have
about it.
not watched Good Will Hunting. I bought it for Nate that one.
I remember Christmas.
Dude, watch
Right?
Goodwill.
Was that with you?
Yes.
One of
Such a
these days we're watching.
fantastic
That's
movie.
one of my favorite
Good
movies.
Will
I'll watch it
Hunting
at
is
work.
so
It's good.
good. This is my
No,
top
no,
10.
you might want to
I'll try
watch.
at work.
You're gonna watch.
You might want to watch
Easily?
that at home.
First viewing, top 10. Easily.
Dude,
So
I
fucking good.
get so boring at work. I'd rather watch a movie where I'm crying.
Okay.
Honestly.
What would
Watch
you
with
give
you.
Parasite?
I'll watch with you.
5.
It's a
I
5.
didn't log it, but I'm 5ing it.
What do you
I
give
know
on
how
that?
to write it now. I didn't know how to like tackle it,
Did
but
you read
now
my
I know.
reviews for it?
Yeah, I
It's
read.
With the shit we've
I read
watched
both
at
of them.
work, Jeremy, why would you care if anyone sees you crying at work? We basically
Jeremy,
watch
you
porn
gotta watch.
at work.
Yeah.
We
Paris,
basically
Texas.
watch
Next time,
hardcore
maybe
porn at work.
you might get it. I might
basically,
want to
Paris,
watch it
Texas,
over.
so
much.
good.
Watch it at
No, not
work.
pretty much. You just
We
Oh,
watch porn
man,
with the
what
plot
a
at work.
movie.
you just
was
watch
great.
hardcore plotted.
I watched Caligula at school.
Legend.
I watched Caligula before class
Well,
started.
if it was in Harry Harry, you wouldn't mind it.
I saw him the other day.
You watched it in high school.
How is he?
I didn't talk
No,
to him. I
in
ran from him. I was at
college.
work and I hid from him.
Before
Paris,
class
Texas,
started.
good movie.
You don't want him to
There's
see what he's
Texas.
I don't want to be like, are you still at school? And be like, yeah. I'm gonna just talk briefly about Grave of the Fireflies real quick.
Ah!
Perfect movie. 5. I cried. I wanted to kill myself.
Let me tell
Best-
you, I
best
just
animated
rewatched
film
it
ever.
yesterday after like 3 years. It still hits just as hard.
So in your top
and
10?
the visuals. Well, that's why it's my top 10 for a reason. Remember when we did our top 10 films?
Oh, it's on there. That's right.
Um,
I don't know what. I don't want to say anything just because I guarantee there's people who haven't seen this, and it's like I don't want to say anything that's going to be like detract. Yeah, stupid, or I don't want to like detract people from seeing it.
watch it.
Just watch it.
They're not anime fans and they love it.
Yeah,
Watch
Jeremy
it.
and I gave it a 5.
Yeah,
That's enough.
It's our favorite anime film.
so far, yes.
Okay, you want to do music?
Yeah, let's start this off.
Joe,
Wait,
yeah.
Roy, was that the one you were talking about that I shouldn't watch at work because it was like really sad or something?
Graded Fireflies. Yeah.
Wait, so what? Have you seen Angel Beats?
Yeah.
Which one's worse?
Grave of the Fireflies.
Which one's worse, Roy?
Angel Beats.
I told you. He was
You
saying
just
that so much.
said
I'm like,
so
I've
sad.
seen worse. I've seen so
when
much
he told
worse.
me in the car about, hey, have you heard about Angel Beats? And I literally teared up for
Yeah,
a
you're
minute
like,
because
no.
I remember the last episode,
Yeah.
the last second. I remembered everything. It all came down.
Dude.
That anime broke me
It-
in many
I was
pieces.
like 13 years old watching romance.
Oh,
anime,
dude.
And then like I would come across someone's like, oh, watch Angel. He's like, I'll give it a go. Why would you do that to 12-year-old me?
Look, the same thing happened
Why
to
would
me
Home Alone
in
do
middle
that
school.
to yourself?
There was some dumb kid who was he was a big weeb. I forgot what his name was, but he told me to watch it. He said it was a masterpiece. It's to fun
What,
me
Angel,
up.
Angel Beats?
He was like a troll. He was like a troll like guy. He
Oh.
was like saying shit, like recommending. Yeah. So he just told me that it's a feel me up, good movie to feel good about yourself.
God,
And
that's
I'm like,
such a
all
lie.
right, I'll watch it. No.
I mean, there's the characters certainly are
Oh, yeah.
diverse and funny.
Yeah.
But then you watch them.
And then the last few minutes.
I'm kind of enjoying watching these guys break down.
It's hilarious.
Dude, Joe, watch it.
I
I'll
will.
watch it.
No, he won't.
I will.
It's
Watch
a-
it.
If you
how
can
many
tell
Angel
episodes?
Beats.
Where can I
It's
find
like
it? Where can I find it?
Yeah,
Is it
it's like 12 to
Crunchyroll?
13.
13, I think.
There's an-
Just go to Kiss Anime. I don't fucking know.
Kiss Anime won't work on my phone.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, bud.
Suck my dick.
All right. With that being said, we're gonna do our top 10 albums of all time.
Top
I-
five. Well,
I can
I'm
give
gonna-
you
I'm
seven.
doing top 5.
Or I'll
Uh,
just
seven.
six.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Joe's doing
Just do a
7.
top 5 with honorable mention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe's gonna do 5, and Kyle's doing 5.
I'm gonna do 5 because it was kind of hard.
You told us to do 10.
I know.
You're
Well,
bitch.
we're doing.
Is it literally all banda?
Jeremy and I are doing 10.
They're all Spanish,
Yeah,
but
so
they're
it's all-
not.
It's
One of
all
them is
Banda.
Banda.
Mostly banda.
We're all
Well,
big
I'm sorry that you don't like Banda, Joe.
I'm
Get
kidding,
fuck in
I'm
my
just fucking
face.
with you.
Go fuck
mu-
up,
we
Joe.
all we're all pretty big music fans. I'd say we all.
I
No.
have been to.
I don't. We
At
don't care about
least-
the concerts. Don't care.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
care. You've been to concerts. I've been to concerts too. Kyle, have you been
I
to
wasn't-
concerts?
never in my life.
Oh, you're not.
I've been to one
Buddy.
concert, and it was a classical
wait.
concert.
You've been to like high school
Wait,
shit.
we have been to a concert.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
classical
was
one.
just
I was there
gonna
too.
say
That's right.
I
Well,
was just
I
trying
went to
to
the
say
same one.
That I go to
Oh.
as many concerts as
Same
I possibly
place.
fucking can.
Oh yeah.
I've been to over 40 in like the last 3
All right,
years.
so I talked about albums.
So Joe has to go first because he's
Yeah.
got a skedaddle. So do you just want to name off your 5 and then you beat it?
Last.
Yeah.
Do you have-
but
what
I'm,
are-
but I'm gonna go into it a little bit.
That's
All
well,
right.
that's fine. That's
Okay,
fine. We're
yeah.
we're gonna give you
It's
time.
his seeing off, so I mean,
Yeah. Joe's gonna leave. He's gonna leave.
So the rest of the episode is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
basically.
we don't have to hear Joe and his fucking cathartic suspensions
Suspension.
about his car.
All right, Joe. What?
Fucking cunts.
Joe, what's your top? What's your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions are gonna go to shit. What's the name? I'm really bad with names, so I'm on my Spotify.
Stardust?
No.
Starset?
Honorable mentions are going to go to The Stories We Tell Ourselves by Nothing More, which is a
Oh yeah,
such a
yeah.
fantastic album.
That's so
It's
good.
so good. It's such a diverse album where they explore their softer side and also go really hard.
Yeah.
But they also explore their emotions and the struggles of like coping with your loved one's deaths, losing your mother and your father, and all of that. And it's such a beautiful album, and
Yeah.
I cannot recommend it.
I love that band. It's good.
Nothing More is so good. I've seen them live too. Another honorable mention is going to be Polar Similar by Nothing More. Not Polar Similar by Norma Jean. My bad. This is not the country Norma Jean. This is the metalcore Norma Jean. And they this album is perfect to me. I love how poetic every single song is. It's just they're all so full of meaning, and they all go so hard. Why the fuck are you cunts laughing?
Because it's honorable mentions. So Tom, you just honorable mention them.
All right, fine.
I just loved how you guys were laughing, and he's
Oh,
like,
we have this face thing.
Jeremy and I have this thing where we can look at each other and just cry.
Also, Jeremy has that dumb dog look. He's doing it right now.
All right.
Well, anytime I look at Jeremy, we usually have a horrible inside joke between us.
All right.
All right, what's your 5?
Number 5 is going to be Xenon by a band called Mechina. They're actually based out of Batavia here in Illinois.
Hey,
Their entire discography is a story. It's an anthology about Earth and this. It's like dystopian sci-fi shit. It's so cool. And this album, it's like industrial melodic death metal, and every single song is fantastic. Some of them last for like 8 minutes and you even notice it go by. Number 4, this one's going to be kind of controversial because this is actually probably seen as one of the like more underwhelming Korn albums, but the Untitled album by Korn.
I'm a big fan of On the Cob myself.
He is though.
That's all, folks. The Untitled album, because I kind of came into this album at a very bad point in my life when I was severely depressed.
That's what's great about music is that like it's
Man, Linkin Park helped me through some shit.
I think
man.
every one of us probably have an album we like that we listen to.
I have about 10 on my top 10.
Me too. Yeah, no, but like the Untitled album, every single song was made by Jonathan Davis himself alone, because this is when the band kind of like fell apart for a little while, and you can kind of hear this hopelessness and eeriness in every single song, and the way it's constructed, every single time it blows me away. And I have why are you sucking the air's cock, Jack? And there's one
Keating.
song. God damn you.
Address.
And I gotta give the song Love and Luxury a special shout out on that album. It wasn't my favorite for a while, but it became one of mine because the lyrics are so depressing, but the entire album is done with this upbeat tempo and upbeat singing, and you just can't help but be kind of like dancing along, and then you realize, like, wait a minute, it's talking about how my life is shit, and I don't deserve happiness. Are you do the same class?
Oh shit! I forgot we had an audience member.
Hi.
Hi. Hey.
Fuck you, dude.
You can't fuck my brother.
Why not? You're so cute.
Oh god, look at his face.
Come on, Lars. Cut it out, Lars.
We just lost our audience member.
Cut it out, Lars.
We just lost his
I'm not repeating that.
Number 3 is the Gorillaz album, self-titled album.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
They're so
dude,
good.
they're good. I love them.
the whole
Wait, are they
album.
real people or what? Like, what's
No, the Gorillaz. I went to their live concert and they're monkeys.
They're animated. Are they real?
No, they're
That's
real.
an Andrew question right there.
That is an Andrew question.
Of course, that's why I said
So my
it.
thing is
Wait. So
I
my
don't know
thing
if they're
is
real
that
people or
I understand the Gorillas, but the fact that they're animated, it's not an album.
I was like an
It's like anime music.
It's like
What?
an anime music.
Oh, anime music.
Wait,
Buggy.
Baggy, spookly, but doodly.
Boogie. Nobody. We just tell that.
No, they don't need to
Go
know.
on, Joe.
They
Go
don't
on,
need to
Joe.
know.
They know.
They know what the movie.
Audience knows.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's just a fantastic album. I kind of grew up to the album,
Okay.
and the songs just bring back such a nostalgic feeling, and it's so much fun listening to the whole thing. The songs are. Why the fuck are you guys so the way
We're doing
you
it. We're gonna do it to everybody.
Keep going.
Why are you the way you
ignore
are?
us.
Keep going, Joe.
It's gonna get worse,
Basically,
Joe. Trust
it
me.
is.
Oh, I can't.
That's why you're going first.
I just can't help but love the album. Every single song is just out there. There's a deep meaning to it, but it's also just so much fun and just cute, crazy, and lovable. And I love the whole album. Number
Dose.
Was that number 3? That was number
Dose.
2. Number 2.
You're on Dose.
This is gonna be kind of lame.
Okay.
But
ABBA Gold.
No, it's gonna be stand.
Hey, ABBA.
Come on.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be Stand Up and Scream by Asking Alexandria, which is like emo, fucking high school bullshit.
Okay.
Robin sent me a card with
I didn't
ABBA
ask you for
lyrics.
your opinion.
What? When?
Dancing Queen when I turned.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
I love it. dancing.
But yeah, no,
Summer, you're
but
like,
that was the album that really got me into like screaming, and which kind of turned me into more extreme metal, and that's why I'm into death metal now. It all started with them. Like, I grew up listening to rock, and then I hated screaming and screamo. And then I listened to this, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty decent. And now, like, most of my music is like metalcore or deathcore or just mostly hardcore metal.
Cool.
But that's kind of what started it off, and it's also the album I taught
It's
myself.
those albums that get you started. I remember my parents used to sing me George Harrison songs when I was a baby and ABBA songs. So like that's kind of like how my music now. So it's like those formative years.
Makes sense. Well, that's the same with me and like Spanish music. I hate it, and I tell you, I hated like banda and like Spanish music because that's all I heard in the car going to work with my dad at a young age, and I just hated it. Now I love it.
I did the same thing. Okay.
Number one, your favorite album of all time.
This is such a hard one. It's a massive tie.
Yeah,
I'm a hard one.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Mitch, everybody.
This actually diverts completely from my typical music. It's "Life Will Kill Ya" by Warren Zevon.
I don't know that.
I listened to it. You'll like it. It's a lot of Warren Zevon's music is political satire, and he shat on Leonard Skinner a lot, which is really funny. But the album, this is the album he made when he was dying of stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
I'll probably like it.
There's. There's.
Is he okay?
Is he dead? My dad. I grew up listening to stuff like Bob Dylan, Warren Zevon, Tom Petty, and all that stuff.
So good.
He's fantastic.
You excited that documentary dropping on Netflix about him?
But Warren Zevon, I always loved his voice. I loved his guitar. I loved the lyrics. Only in later years, like when I recently when I re-listened to the whole album, I totally understood what every single song was saying, and it made me appreciate the depth and the skill that man wrote and sang with. His natural voice, for some context, he took singing lessons when he was like 16 or something. I don't remember what the exact age is. But the person who was teaching him told him to stop going to me because they're like, dude, your natural voice is perfect enough. Please do not change it. And so he was like, okay. And he went on with this baritone, almost kind of raspy, but not beautiful voice. And there's one song I hold with deep love in my heart that he wrote, and it's called "My Shit's Fucked Up." And it's the song about when he was diagnosed. And it's a song about how we all die, everyone's equal, and you have to live with it, even though it hurts.
Mind if you go to the Fountain of Youth?
No, but you can hear it in his voice, because the whole song is almost like in a whisper. You can hear his voice breaking the whole song.
That's like David Bowie.
And you know what? You remind me. I do know that. My dad introduced me to this.
Warren Zevon.
And it's fucking great. Yeah.
Warren Zevon is.
I remember that story about how he went to a singing lessons. He's like, "Why are you here?
Because you're so good as it is.
Yeah.
You have the perfect voice.
Yeah, you're gonna ruin it."
He was never as big as Leonard Skinner. Yeah. But because he's more folk than rock. He's like a folk rock country mix.
Probably don't like it.
And he's, dude, listen to him. He's got a song.
Yeah, no, definitely check it out.
Oh my god, what was the one song about the boy who came out of?
I've been introduced to it.
Excitable Boy, Boy, and it
but
was about the prison system, and the whole song is about this kid who did weird shit when he was growing up, and then he killed a girl, and then he buried her in his backyard, and then it's like.
Daddy!
And then he gets out of prison, and he digs up her bones and builds a cage for him, and he's like, but he's just an excitable boy. And he's just talking about how people treated, like in his era, like how the prison system was, like how they just let people go.
That's very, like, when you're saying, like, you can feel him dying.
You can feel it.
I remember when David Bowie died.
Yeah.
And the last video he ever recorded, the song Lazarus off the Black Star album. Mm-hmm. I watched it again a couple days ago with Rachel. She used to show it to her. God damn, he knew he was dying. He died 2 days after that video was made. It's so fucking, like, or he died after that video was released. 2 days after the video was released.
Yeah.
I mean. God, it's like so
I cannot recommend Warren Zevon enough.
I'm gonna write that down.
I will text you links. It's
Perfect.
all on
Just do that,
Spotify.
do that.
All right,
It's
just
all
do
on
that.
Spotify.
Just give me the links.
But yeah, that was actually a really tough pick for me because I could have gone with any number of metal albums I've listened to
Yeah.
a million times. But it's
Yeah.
this album, which I've only listened to a couple times,
Perfect album.
but it's just it has such a deep impact on me because I grew up to this. Road trips to my grandma's, listening to music about people dying.
Are you skedaddling or are you gonna stay in?
I'm gonna stay for a little bit. I got like 10 minutes.
Perfect. We'll do honorable mentions. We'll do 10 through 5, 6 since we're the only one who did top 10s, Jeremy. And then we'll do just like top 5.
Then we'll go with them.
So, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a couple of honorable mentions.
BeatYeah.
Yeah.
BeatYeah.
That was a good list, by the way, Joe.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good list, good list.
Pretty much any fucking album by Queen, Billy Joel, or Elton John. I love all those. But I don't have any in my top 5.
Sorry to all the people we ding-dong ditched and blasted Don't Stop Me Now by
Don't
Queen.
Stop Me Now by Queen.
Are you serious?
Do you remember
Yeah.
putting the T-shirt? Well,
No,
Sam!
we put nail clippers. Wait, did we do anything with nail
we
clippers?
we did the nail clippers, and we're so stupid.
Wait,
so
what?
horrible.
Stupid kids. No,
Oh,
we were
I
stupid.
gotta
And
hear
then the
this.
T-shirt.
What are you talking about? A T-shirt?
She gave me a T-shirt,
You-
and I would blow
Was
my
she?
nose into
Yeah,
it when I
you
was
blow your
sick, and I would
nose.
put it in the mail. Oh my god, horrible people. We won't say. It'll be after.
I love it.
My
His
fucking-
ex-girlfriend.
My fucking ex, Melinda.
Wait, oh.
Sorry,
That's
Melinda.
hilarious.
I'm very sorry.
I'm not.
That was Jack.
Fuck
He
you.
did it.
Fuck you, Melinda.
She knows I did it. Go on.
Do better.
She give the shirt to.
My dog. All right, go
No,
on. Yeah.
I shit in it.
Jeremy?
Anyway, so honorable mentions. I had two. I already fucking forgot.
You said Queen, Elton, and
Well, Queen Elton and
Billy
Billy
Joel.
Joel, but I had two specific albums. They'll probably come back to me. But then I thought about how much I fucking love the game Jet Radio Future and the soundtrack in it, and which isn't an album. So
it could be an honorable mention.
But by Hiraki Naganuma, he's a great Twitter personality, by the way.
Okay.
Funny guy.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
I love
But he has an amazing soundtrack in the Jet Set Radio Future game, and there's a lot of other like random artists that I've never heard of before.
It's kind of like Rocket League soundtrack.
Yeah, but that's like more dubstep.
Oh yeah.
This one's more like hip hop.
Okay.
And so that's one of my honorable mentions. I'll think of the other two later. I don't know why I can't think of them right now.
Jeremy, you got honorable mentions?
Yes, I have
4, right?
No, I came with some more. As
Okay.
As we were going.
I came up with some more.
Do you have any, Roy?
Anything from England.
Perfect.
Mention.
Leave it at that.
So honorable mentions, anything by Beethoven.
Oh yeah, Beethoven
You've
too.
been heavy into classical lately.
Dude,
Yeah.
classical is
That's all I
fucking
listen-
great.
it's
Me
the
too. I
best.
have it in the radio.
You have to listen
Technically,
to that
no.
composer I told you about.
Travotsky.
Henri
Tchaikovsky.
Louis,
Travotsky.
something like that.
You have to send me like
Yeah.
his name or something.
Yes.
I've also been getting into Franz Liszt a lot recently. Franz Liszt is. I'll show him to you some of these days. He's really good. Another honorable mention is.
See, we're cultured.
Yeah.
Somehow.
No. Sci-Fi Crimes, which is by the band Chevelle.
Yes.
Love that. Love that
we
album.
went to see them together. Fuck.
Yeah. I still have the pick. Pick I caught.
Good.
Hit me in the
You
head.
don't really remember that concert, though, do you?
No, he does.
No, I don't remember much of it because I was
Yes.
texting someone the whole time. But you know,
Dumb
whatever.
fuck. I was watching the whole time until that lady grabbed my ass.
Pink Season by Pink Guy. Great fucking album. That
Yo,
is-
Pink
no.
Guy.
You are human
Oh,
garbage.
That is great.
That's good.
Um,
That's good.
Go
It's
on.
actually a decent album.
Go on.
The Unplugged Nirvana album. Love that album.
You're a
That
stereotype.
used to be my favorite Nirvana album, but not anymore.
You're wearing a Nirvana shirt.
No,
I'm wearing
you have
it.
no proof.
Yeah, they can't see
I
it.
can confirm that on this day, June
Well,
7th.
Don't
Hey, we don't know
give it
dates.
a
Come on.
time
Do you trust
stamp.
Joe? When has Joe told you the truth?
Never.
Never. Joe
You-
always lies.
Yeah.
I
You're
have
a
a-
fucking
I have a
idiot.
80-inch dick.
See?
See?
All right, so the one time.
All right, what else you got?
10,000 Days by Tool,
You're one of those.
which is my favorite.
Tool's good, dude.
You're a Tool.
Which is my favorite band.
Tool's your favorite band?
As of right now, yes.
Interesting.
Oh, it changed.
And they're coming with a new album this year. And
They keep saying they've been saying it for 16 years.
They said it's done. They have 2 new songs out.
I
If you
know.
listen to them. Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, which used to be my favorite Pink Floyd album.
Is that number 2?
No, he's honorable mentions.
Oh.
Yeah, you know
I really like that album.
For a while,
it's
that was my
great.
favorite album
It's great.
of all
Such a
time
good
for a little while.
Good album.
I remember when you were listening to it nonstop.
Yep.
We ought to do that. Like, just turn on, chill at your house, just play it.
I remember
Like,
bringing
just
this.
chill. Just yes.
I brought Dark Side of the
I'm
Moon
pulling it out.
to a weight training class in high school,
Yes.
and I watched as the entire weight room just died. No one wanted to work out, and it was beautiful. And at the end of the class, my teacher said, "Great music, but not good workout music." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I brought
What
it."
was the Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Wait, I was
perfect
there for
word.
that.
No, you weren't in my class. Mark was. It's me and Mark.
I remember someone doing something like that though.
Probably heard about it.
You probably heard the Pussycat. What's the Pussycat album?
Yes!
Oh
Yes,
my
that was
god!
me.
No, that was Mark who brought that.
Yes, he did that. I mean, I was there. I didn't.
Yeah,
John
Mark-
Mulaney.
I got a side story where we went to B-Dubs and they were playing Pussycat like non-stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're
It's such a
non-stop.
stupid fucking
It was
song.
great.
Great song.
Everybody was complaining, but they kept
I
playing
hate
it.
that song.
whoa!
I hate that song.
Pussycat?
Does anyone
Wales?
Does anyone know? Does everyone here understand the meme? The whole meme behind the what's
If
New
you
Pussycat?
don't,
I get the meme.
I do!
If you don't, just Google it. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
It's so
Google it.
popular. God.
Is that all your honorable
I
mentions?
have one more.
Okay.
Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
Good out. Yes, that's a good one. All right, I have a lot. So, Led Zeppelin 1, the first album, that's my favorite of theirs. All Eyes on Me by Tupac.
Great album.
Channel Orange by Frank Ocean.
Okay.
Out of the Blue by ELO. I'm kicking myself. Oh, wait. Never mind. We might be talking about Out of the Blue later. Bridge Over Troubled Water was by Simon & Garfunkel.
Oh, yeah, great album.
Glass Houses by Billy Joel.
Oh, yes.
Rubber Soul by the Beatles. We might be talking about them later. Who knows? Beatles. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this one. I like Coldplay's sound. Their music all sounds the same. That's probably why I like it. I like the album Rush of Blood to the Head. It's smooth.
Whatever.
It's relaxing.
That's fine.
It's relaxing.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I know I'm wrong, but I like it.
That's okay.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Ooh.
Elton John.
Yes.
My pick for Pink Floyd, The Wall. That's my favorite. News of the World by Queen.
I remember
Can you
the
give me one
Family
too?
Guy episode about that one, where Stewie was terrified of the fucking cover.
Yeah. And then Pacific Ocean Blue by Dennis Wilson.
Okay.
He's one of the Beach Boys. That's his only solo album. Jesus, so good. Jeremy, what's your 10?
Number 10 for me. So I just mentioned The Chronic as my last honorable mention. My number 10 is The Chronic 2001, Dr. Dre.
Really?
Legend.
It was very difficult
What?
deciding between these two. They're so close.
What?
They're so
You know what?
close.
Hey.
I
You're
listened-
bulling.
The Chronic,
ballin'.
the Chronic is a masterpiece, but The Chronic 2001, I don't know what it is.
You just wanna
about
get more.
that album. I listened to a lot more. It's just he basically took The Chronic and
Made it in 2001?
Made it in 2001.
Actually made it
Remastered it.
in 1999. I don't know why it's called 2001.
Because it's like a space.
2001 Space Odyssey.
Hey.
Good movie.
All of you have to death.
You don't like 2001?
Already halfway there.
Some of the best songs on the album. Fuck You. It's a great song.
Of course.
Fuck yeah.
Obviously, the next episode is fantastic. I love that song.
Obviously.
And then I can't really say the name of this, but the first word is bitch. And the last-
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
we
it.
got it.
That's
Good
it.
album.
Sure.
Also,
but a different word that ends in ER.
the final song called "The Message" is probably probably the only straight up emotional song that Dr. Dre's ever done.
What
And
is that?
Also, Dr. Dre doesn't really write most of his music.
He's a producer.
admitted that he
Yeah.
produces it and he raps on it. But that one he wrote. It was about his brother, I think, who died.
What's it called?
The message.
Okay.
The Message.
I gotta give that album a listen. 8th grade. You told me about Dr. Dre.
Did you not listen to that one yet?
We listened to it together years ago. Years, long time ago. I don't remember too much about the album. So I need to give it a
If
whirl.
you're a fan of Eminem, that's the first album that he ever showed
I am
up
a big
on.
fan of Eminem.
Eminem.
Oh,
And
without the red curtain, whatever. That's an honorable mention for Eminem, by the way.
And also, there's a cameo from Tommy Chong in this album, which is just great.
That's fantastic.
That's my number 10.
Number 10 for me is ELO, Out of the Blue.
Of course.
Hey, I think I've heard that before.
I am a huge Electric Light Orchestra fan.
You're so good.
They're pretty much like this. If the Beatles made it to the 70s,
ELO
I just remembered a fucking
fantastic.
Go on.
there's so many albums I could pick, but I think this one's the most consistent. It's got Mr. Blue Sky, which everyone knows from
yes,
Guardians
dude,
too, but
Mr.
I knew
Blue
about
Sky.
the fucking song before that shit. Wild West Hero, which is it's like a great like Western song. You and I used to listen to that one. You probably don't
I
remember.
don't like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's okay.
Neither do
Yeah.
Okay, no, okay, wait. Can I chime in? I think the thing that I love the most about ELO is that they try so much and do all of it so
I. They do.
well.
They're so good at noise.
They're just so good at messing with it and making things that sound weird work, and they make it work beautifully, and you can't get enough of it. Like, I
agree.
totally respect your top 10 decision.
I agree.
I agree.
Big Wheels. I mean, Night in the City. So many great songs. There's not a song that sounds the same. They might the intro, but like content wise, they're all different. So that's the ELO spot. It could change, but number 9, Jeremy.
Number 9 for me is going to be Abbey Road by the Beatles, which is my favorite Beatles album.
Pretty good album.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be. I'm not as big of a Beatles fan. I don't listen to them as much as I used to, like back in high school. But I mean, they're still like fantastic.
When you go back, because I don't listen to them as much as I used to either. But when
Yeah.
you go, they're still my favorite. When
Yeah.
you go back to them though,
it's so refreshing.
it's so
refreshing.
good.
Yeah.
I'm starting to do that now. It's so good. The age, God, go on.
The White Album's another honorable mention too, because that's my second favorite one.
That's going to be his top 5.
Might be talking about it later. Who knows? But yeah, I haven't listened to it in a while. But yeah, it's definitely still in my top 10. The Beatles. I mean, what can I say about the Beatles that haven't been said before? I mean, possibly the best.
Something about Bungie.
Possibly the best songwriters
The best band
of all time.
I think.
Possibly the best band of all time.
Yeah.
I'd say
I don't want to say too much. We might
Yeah.
be talking about it.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, actually, I think it's time for me to cut out, but what's your number 9 first?
Plastic Ono Band by John Lennon.
Good.
See you later, Joe. Bye,
See you
Joe.
guys.
Bye, Joe.
See
Joe.
Bye, guys.
I'll miss you.
Good riddance,
Hey,
Joe.
I don't deserve to
Hey, you want to go to
Hey,
Jonathan?
What?
I'll watch that with you one of these days if you're down.
Which one?
Green Inferno.
Sure.
I'll rewatch
Over
it.
this weekend. I don't give a shit.
All right.
Alright, peace out.
Uh,
Wait, are you hanging out with us tomorrow?
It depends. I have to take my car and prepare it.
Come on, X-Men Dark
Well, I'm
Phoenix
driving-
Cinema.
Him, my brother, and Mitch. Well, maybe not Mitch. I don't know.
Oh, fuck
To the
me.
theater.
When?
Movie's at 7.
Saturday.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, just meet us up there then. We can get
Alright.
food.
I'll let you guys know.
Okay, bye, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Classic. John Lennon's my
Fucking
favorite
idiot.
solo artist of all time. He's like, when I was like really sick and depressed in high school, senior year, I listened to a lot of John Lennon, David Bowie, and Billy Joel.
Yeah.
And like, Plastic Ono Band is
John
without a
Lennon.
That your mom's car is totally blocking me and it's parked across the driveway.
Maybe,
Perfect.
Joe
You can
can't
tell it
leave.
moved, Riley.
maybe you shouldn't park there.
yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have parked
I
there.
asked you,
You can
you
make
said
me
yes.
guilt.
Park on the left side.
Dumbass.
I didn't know I shouldn't have parked on the right side.
No one cares, Joe.
Should have asked.
Plastic Ono Band is probably the most like emotional album I've ever heard because it's like it's John Lennon just crying that his childhood was fucked up. He's ruined. It's him like coming to terms with his beliefs, coming to terms with himself, coming to terms with like the pain, the trauma, the abuse he endured, the abuse he's put on other people. There's no album I think is like more emotional than that. If you guys haven't listened to that, I would wholeheartedly recommend it. Number 8.
Are you guys going to your top 5s and then?
Yeah,
We're
when we
doing
finish
our-
6, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, yeah.
Number 8 for me is going to be my favorite Pink Floyd album, which is Animals.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
I think it's like my 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to choose. There's so many good ones. But, yeah, Dark Side of the Moon used to be my favorite album of all time. But over time, Animals has just
Animals.
surpassed it. It animalized it.
That's all you gotta say.
Shut up. Dogs, one of my favorite songs of all time.
Of course,
I love
you dumb
Dogs.
dog.
I remember doing that for karaoke one time. We were at karaoke at Oscar's house.
Oh, lip sync battle.
And a lip sync battle.
And you won that time.
I won that. Yep. One of the songs I did was Dogs, 17-minute long song. Fantastic album. There's only, I think, like 4 or 5 songs on there in total. But it's a really long, long album.
I gotta give that a spin.
Yeah.
Not again, I should say.
I haven't listened to this one maybe in like 6 or 8 months, something like that. But yeah, every song is fantastic and very
perfect.
Yeah, just perfect album.
Number 8, White Album for me.
Nice.
There's a lot of filler on that album, admittedly, because a lot of it's just them, the Beatles playing with sound. But for me, it all works.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, like, Happiness is a Warm Gun, Dear Prudence, all of my top 10 Beatles songs. I mean, Long, 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 and Good Night. That's good. There's so many good songs on that. And then there's, like, Revolution number 9, which a lot of people hate because it's, like, 8 minutes of them just making noise. But there's a lot to that song. It's them kind of experimenting with the noise that they've done in the past and then kind of progressing what's to come with Abbey Road and Let It Be. I think that, there's not many albums I would think that are the greatest, but that's probably the most important album because that, for me, shows the true change in their style. Sgt. Pepper's great and all, but, like, I don't think nothing for them has come as important to the Beatles as White Album did. Number 7, Jeremy.
Number 7 for me is going to be Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by the Smashing Pumpkins. This is a double album. There's 28 songs on it. I listen to this song like at least once a year. This album is basically like it's a journey to listen to through all 28 songs. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes, like total, something like that. It's a long, very long album, but pretty much just about every single song I can listen to on its own. And you got some great. I mean, you have some of like the classics like Tonight Tonight and 1979, which is probably my least favorite actually of the whole album. It has my favorite Smashing Pumpkins song, Zero, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. And one of the best instrumentals I've ever heard in the title track, which is the first song on the whole album.
I need to listen to them, admittedly.
Yeah.
I don't really know too
Listen to
much.
this album.
Is that a good one to start off with?
Yeah, either that or Siamese Dream. Siamese Dream is a little bit more of a standard regular length album. This one's a more.
Gotcha. Aren't you a fan of? No, you're not a Smashing. You're no.
You know what I am, bitch.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
He has some
basically
merch on him.
it comes down to if you like Billy Corgan's voice or not. If you think it's annoying or if you like it. I don't think it's annoying. So that's what it comes down to. But yeah, that's me.
Number 7. Ziggy Stardust by Bowie. The best album, his best album.
I can agree.
Talk about a guy who pumped out an album, I think every year in the 70s, and none of them are bad. Like,
Yeah.
might be the best track record in
Yeah.
solo music history. We all like Ziggy Stardust. You've listened to it. You listened to it both.
No.
You really?
Really?
Thanks to Chronicle.
Should.
You should give it a whirl.
Thanks to the movie Chronicle.
I feel like it.
That got you into the album?
Got me into the song Ziggy Stardust, which led me to the album.
Okay.
I if you like throw together a playlist like most songs I should listen to, I'll probably put them up on stream because I usually just I don't know what to listen to put them on stream, so I just throw up like Weezer. Shit, spoilers.
Shit.
I don't know. I think this is Bowie's best, but everyone says it. So what's to say, right? What's to say?
Yeah,
Ziggy Stardust
really,
is a great song. Moon Age Daydreams, great song. What could be said? What the fuck could be said?
That's why I said I Have Your Own.
Exactly. What could be said? Number 6.
Number 6 for me is Doggy Style, Snoop Doggy Dog. Woo!
Wait, the soundtrack of the Beach Bum is your number
dog.
6?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
All right.
Snoop Dogg's my favorite rapper. I'm sorry, even though he hasn't done shit since Doggy Style.
He's just a memer.
He's a memer. I love him.
He's a great actor, too.
He's an asshole, too. I have stories about my friends that went to a concert. He's an asshole.
Really?
Yeah.
Jimmy
Jimmy and Christian and Mark, I think, We're at a concert of his. He was supposed to play the entirety of Doggy Style. It was at a festival, so he only had a limited time. He showed up like 40 minutes late. Everyone was like, they were booing him. People were booing him, and he got really pissed off and was like, "I can show up whenever the fuck I want." And like,
He's probably high as fuck.
oh, he was hot. Oh, he was.
When isn't he?
Yeah, it's Snoop.
I mean-
Yeah, but yeah, he and then Jimmy they were in front row, and he was saying some song where one of the lyrics was like about hecklers or whatever, and he like pointed right at them because they were the ones like booing him the most. It was really funny. So they hate Snoop Dogg now. I don't care.
That's all that needs to be said.
I don't care. I still love him. Gin and Juice,
That's the best.
Doggy Dog
Come on,
World,
Gin and Juice.
The Shiznit. Come on, man.
Come on.
Cheese and Hustlers.
What?
Hustle.
He said.
Oh,
We have to listen to that album
that's so. It's like a perfect Boolers album.
where we write our movie. That's the movie. That's
Yeah.
what we need to listen
That's
to.
a soundtrack we use.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I have your role. I'm not gonna.
Yes!
I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I need to talk about it with Jeremy, but you have a role.
I need a role in this.
You have a pretty good role, I'd say.
Yeah. Favorite rap album of all time, Doggy Style.
Can't blame you.
What can I say? Classic. G-funk,
90s
90s.
hip hop.
It's the Shiznit. It's what it is.
Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, my number 6.
Turn it up.
Boys.
Boys.
Another one where it's like, what the fuck have you said? Every song in that was game changing because Brian Wilson is a lunatic, but he's also like a musical genius. He had these visions in his mind, dreams about the music. No one trusted him with it. They did it anyway, and you get Pet Sounds, which is the best album.
Weezer has a song dedicated to Beach Boys,
As they should.
and the worst album they.
As it should.
As it should.
I don't even think my favorite Beach Boys song is on it. Good Vibrations isn't on there. I think that's my favorite, but like, there's so many good songs.
God.
What could be said? I love how all three of they all have a perfect harmony together. It's so good.
Everything we're saying.
I recommend though, everyone's listening to Pet Sounds. Watch the movie Love and Mercy. It's about this album being made.
Huh.
It's so good. John Cusack plays older. Brian Wilson, Paul Dano's younger. Paul Giamatti's in it.
What's it
Elizabeth
called?
Banks. Love and Mercy. Give it a
Love
whirl.
and Mercy.
Really good movie. Top 5. Wait. Someone in our crowd is going
Whoa!
apeshit.
One of the audience members.
Wait, we're gonna call an audience member. Come on down, sir.
All right, check
Breaking
on your
news.
seat if you have number 7.
69.
Number 69.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on Save for the Podcast, a live audience member is joining the crew.
Well, I'm afraid that's not the
Boys.
number 69, but all right, we'll
He's
take you anyway.
It's my brother Riley. He's gonna fill in for Joe. You gotta speak up.
Hi, I'm Riley.
Scoot in.
Go ahead, scoot in.
You gotta get close
You're
to the
booling.
mic.
You're booling.
Sorry,
Riley.
I'm not used to being a booler.
Well,
Well,
you're
well,
we
booling.
gotta take you to
You're
Raise the
quick.
Kings.
We can do that tomorrow.
Oh no, we just
Hey.
had it.
We very well could. Couldn't we, Jeremy?
Oh man.
Yeah. No.
What we have to ask before you start off with your 5. Your favorite movie?
What's your favorite
My
movie?
favorite movie is The Shining, hands down.
Shine.
It wasn't my favorite movie for the longest time, but after watching,
Good song.
What?
The longest time. Like Billy
That
Joel.
is a good song.
Yeah, it is.
Spoiler: no Billy Joel in my top 5. But anyway, I didn't like The Shining until I watched Donkey's video pointing out things that I constantly missed about it.
Of course, Donkey helped
Yeah.
revolutionize.
So, thank you, Video Game Donkey.
Is that why?
all right,
is that
shout
why you
out
love
to
it?
the video game
Wait, what
Donkey.
was that?
Is that why you love it?
Subscribe to him,
Um,
like to him, comment, fuck
yes.
him. Fuck you.
Oh.
Beach Bum.
Fuck you.
Beach Bum. Riley,
Please come to our podcast.
what is... Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yes. I
No,
have a
it's
lot
got
because I initially wrote a top 10, but
That's fine.
I'll just put those in my honorable mentions. The only soundtrack to make my list, the Mamma Mia soundtrack. No, I couldn't do that, but in all seriously,
I mean, come on.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind soundtrack. I've been-
Okay.
I've
Okay,
been
now we're
watching it.
talking.
Last week, for all of you
Now we're
JoJo
talking.
heads out there, was the
Haven't
7-page
seen it
Muda
yet.
and watching that go down with the Golden Wind theme playing, it was obvious
As
one of
the
the most
wind is
beautiful
playing.
things. It was so beautiful. Ronnie James Dio, This Is Your Life. It's the tribute album to when he died. It's just a beautiful album dedicated to one of the biggest legends of rock history. AC/DC, Back in Black.
Oh,
What hasn't
yeah,
been said
yeah,
about Back
yeah.
in Black?
I can agree.
Ryan James Dio again, Holy Diver. Obviously his most prolific album. I love the title song as well, Holy Diver. It's probably my favorite song of his. Another repeat on here. Electric Light Orchestra, Out of the Blue.
Yep.
They basically covered everything. And then I'm gonna talk a bit longer on this one. But
Go ahead.
Metallica's title album. I don't know what it is about that album.
I was actually gonna do my mentions again and Ride the Lightning down there.
It was actually between the
Really?
title album or Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, Ride the
Because
Lightning,
I love For Whom the Bell Tolls so much.
Oh,
but,
From the Bell Tolls is pretty good.
Yeah,
but
easily.
looking
Could
at...
you have?
Yeah.
Looking
So
at
why didn't you?
Oh, I'll mentions. I'll do them over again.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
restart.
Master of Puppets,
Thanos time.
Actually, I did consider Master of Puppets for a while because I love Battery off that album, but it came down to I just love more
I'm a
songs
big
off
fan
the
of
Black
battery
album.
acid myself. Go on.
You know, I'm something of a battery acid consumptionist myself.
With that, what's your 5?
I think we all are. If you're
Uh,
booing, you know.
Number 5, J. Cole, K.O.D. It was released last year. Actually, it's probably the most recent album on this list
Who
by
the
far.
fuck is J. Cole?
You don't know who J. Cole is?
No.
Don't worry about it.
Even I know who that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guy
Kyle
who makes
knows.
music that
Do
is
you
an
know who he
album on
is?
his
Wait, do
top
you know
5.
who he is?
No.
I'm not alone.
All right.
And we're the music boys. What the
Dude.
fuck?
Wait, J. Cole's the guy who made the album on his top 5 list.
Oh, you're right. Go on.
Is he a
Yeah,
rapper?
you
Yes,
idiot.
he's a rapper. He's probably the only modern rapper I actually like, other than like Eminem.
Probably I
But
don't
of
know
course,
him.
I'm white,
Rap.
so I have to.
I mean,
I like the hip
it's
hop.
great.
He is though. That was a joke. Don't attack me or
Attack
follow my
him.
stream at twitch.tv/TitanMonarch.
Oh my god.
Oh, another
We got
plug
two of them
in.
now. God damn it.
You gotta plug him now,
Yeah, I do.
Kyle.
I'll have to host him.
I host my
Hey,
stream
host
0 days
me.
a week.
Oh, never mind.
No, actually, I try to stream at least 2 days.
How
a
about
week.
your
Tuesday,
album?
Thursday. KOD. It's an album about drugs. KOD stands for King of Drugs. It is an album about making good choices, and especially in a day and age where rapping is often, about drugs and all that. It's good to see an album dedicated to trying to get people away from it. J. Cole is a great rapper. I don't care what any of you say.
It's terrible. I'm just joking. He's great.
But if you haven't listened to modern rap, I definitely suggest KOD. It is a good album to get you started. If I had to recommend one track in particular off that album, I would probably say a 4-way tie between Motivate, KOD, Kevin's Heart, or ATM. ATM especially. Yeah, probably ATM. That is probably the prolific song from that album. So yeah, number 5, KOD.
All
BeatYeah.
right. My number 5.
BeatYeah.
Twitch.tv/BeatYeah. My number 5 would probably be Discovery by Daft Punk.
Ooh.
Really fucking good album. And not only is it a good album, but the movie or the show that goes along, it's like a short film that goes along with the album. Which is,
Like a music video that they recorded for it?
No, it's all the
The tracks?
yeah, all the tracks go along into like a sort of movie. It's called Interstellar 5555.
Oh, like Beyonce did that with Lemonade when that came out.
Yeah,
they made like
that's
a
Beyonce,
short.
and I don't care.
Well, Beyonce's the
like
queen.
Lil
so
Nas
it's
X.
Well, that's
And,
Beyonce.
Old
We
Town
don't
Road
care.
movie.
I care.
And it was like a.
Oh, do you?
Oh, do
Yeah.
you? Do you really care?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the audience doesn't care,
Hey, you
so
don't know.
fuck
We got some
off.
Queen Bee fans out there.
Yeah.
No.
I like Queen Bee.
You can't call them Queen Bee.
Can't go wrong with Queen Bee. But anyway, it's like a retro-ish, and because back this is Discovery. It was an old album by Daft
One of the
Punk.
first, isn't it?
The second, I think. I don't know.
Maybe,
I really
maybe
don't
not
know.
the first.
I
Maybe
really
not the
don't know
third.
the
Somewhere in the middle
chronology.
between that.
Somewhere that this isn't even an album.
Is it? I was about to say, is it even an album?
Perfect.
But it's a retro like anime kind of movie that goes along with it, and it's beautiful. It's a fucking trip. I really recommend you watch it. Aerodynamic is a fantastic song. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Come on.
Hotter,
Everyone's-
better,
Harder,
faster, stronger.
Better, stronger.
Fantastic song. The song that Kanye West did with it though is terrible, and I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, that one's
Kanye's good in doses.
Kanye's good in doses that fucking kill me. So I don't have to listen. But
You okay?
I think Jeremy's having a heart attack.
You like Kanye?
We looked at each other.
I
again.
had a dumb dog seizure.
Okay.
Good, dumb dog.
Good,
But,
yeah,
so yeah,
I've listened to that before.
Yeah, Discovery
it's
is
pretty
a
solid.
great song. You know, One More Time's great. There's an instrumental song that's really it's like ambient. It's very nice. It's very slow. Something About Us. All the songs in that are fucking great. Near the end it gets a little. But that's just my opinion. Jeremy?
So actually, a live change about 5 minutes ago. Breaking news: Mitch is dead.
Am I his replacement?
He just texted me. He just died.
He says he said I'm sleeping right now.
He said, "Okay, so me dying though."
Okay, so I'm done.
We found out what we sentenced him and he
Yeah.
just died of
Yeah.
a heart attack.
Okay,
Or we
so
all sentenced him.
5 minutes ago, this was my number 3. Now it's my number 5. I just decided, the
And you
two
switched
albums.
it to?
I switched it
Four's
to
still
5.
the same though, right?
No. 4 moved to 3 and 5 moved to 4.
And 4 is 3.
And now 3
Go
is
on.
5. Number 5, In Utero by Nirvana. This used to be my favorite band for the longest time, and this used to be my favorite album of all time, actually, for the longest time. And yeah. What album is that, Roy?
It's the Zack Snyder cut.
Zack Snyder's Justice League cut.
Good album. Good album.
The Red.
The Red album.
By Weezer. That you're on top 5, right?
Yeah, it is actually.
Number 2, right?
We'll talk about it.
Most people have Nevermind as their favorite Nirvana album.
Which is the one with the baby?
That's
Never mind. Yeah.
I like Nevermind, but that one to me is just too overproduced. I would say, and too I still love every song in there, but I don't listen to it as much. In Utero was basically Nirvana saying, "Fuck you, we're not making another Nevermind. You want Nevermind? We're gonna give you this."
What was
this
their last
renewal."
album?
In Utero. Well, I
Before,
guess technically unplugged.
Before he blew his mind.
Technically unplugged. Before he unplugged himself.
Check, please.
Check, please.
Say that.
There's a song on this album called Tourette's, and it's a minute and 20 seconds of him just screaming nonsense. There's no lyrics. It's just screaming nonsense. I used to hate it. It's called Tourette's. And I used to hate this song, but it's one of my favorite songs by now because it's just batshit insane. It's crazy.
Sounds like a Blink-182 song I listened to a while back.
Blink-182.
Yes. Shout out to those guys. They still exist.
I think
they still
dead.
exist. Trust me.
It was called Family Reunion. It's literally just 40 seconds of kind of the same shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of that.
But it's had my favorite Nirvana song, "Serve the Servants," which is the first song on the album.
That's your favorite?
Yeah, as of right now. Oh god. "Milk It" is another classic. It's an underrated Nirvana song. "Milk It."
Be right back. Gotta get some Wawa.
Hey, can you grab me one as well, please?
Yeah. Anyone else want a water?
Yeah, I want a Wawa.
You want Wawa?
Yo quiero
There's a pond
agua.
over there.
Okay.
We should find
Yeah,
some
your
water.
turn.
Bungie.
Yeah, your turn isn't for a while, so you could probably just
Hey,
go walk to and be
Bungie.
back just in time.
Honestly.
Bungie.
Yeah, here you go. My number.
I like it.
All right, Jack, you're up.
All right, Jack. What's your favorite album of all time?
Bitch.
Oh, wow, cool, Jack.
Awesome! Wow.
Jack.
Alright, so should I just go now?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
No,
it's
it's
my
your
turn.
turn
My
anyways.
turn.
Oh, fuck. I forgot Roy was here.
Yeah, me too.
None of us are gonna know
actually.
any
You're
of the albums.
the Freddy of this iCarly, bitch.
None
Hey,
of us are gonna know any of the
Freddie.
albums we're talking about.
Yeah, I am Friday.
But you don't even know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing.
Hey,
I think I know what I'm doing,
That's
but
the
in
attitude.
reality,
No, that's
I
what
don't know.
Then you know what you're doing, in my opinion. That's what I do.
All right. So these guys know that I'm a casual Kiss fan. I love the band, and I really do. And it's kind of funny how people just oh, overrated. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't care. And so my number 5 is Dress to Kill. That's one of my favorite albums. That has a room service, which I really like. That's the number 1. And of course it has Rock and Roll Night. I mean, come on. It's such a classic. It's so classic.
That is a
and
classic.
such a meme, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's so great. I love it. There's so many great songs, and I think when I first listened to Linkin Park, it was like the first music, like a band I got into, and that's what got me into like rock. And then from there, I went from Kiss to like Nirvana, and then to
What's
more.
your five?
Oh, you weren't here. Yeah, you're fucked up. Oh, I said that I was a casual Kiss fan. Dress to Kill was my number 5.
Well, I like your number 4 album, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I like your number 4 album, by the way.
Yeah.
Just
Very-
listen to the
very
podcast, you'll
influential.
find out.
It was Radio Silence
Hey,
by
save the
Some-
podcast.
Save the podcast.
Next week, we'll discuss it.
You guys know the definition of a joke, right?
No, I've never made one in my life.
What are those?
You don't have to make one. You are one.
Shit.
Go on.
That's a good one.
Wait, BeatYeah is going to hang himself. Every time you do that, I think of Gonzalo for some reason.
He's doing
He
the
used to do
Fortnite
that.
dancing.
I did.
The Nene.
I did. That was the
No.
whip.
When your pizza rolls are
I
done.
don't know, man.
The pizza rolls.
When the pizza rolls are done.
No one's looking.
And that's
No
the
one's
last episode.
watching.
All right, go on.
They
Yeah.
know
Are
the
you done?
vine.
Kiss. Just to Kill.
I like them.
Yeah! Well,
I
I
need
love
to
him!
listen to more Kiss, but like I don't know. I just haven't had a lot of time.
Okay.
You have time
Yeah,
right now.
Not really.
They're
Not a
okay.
big
Like
fan.
they're okay.
Yeah, I'm
they're
doing
okay.
this late
Yeah.
night
Not my
thing
thing.
with
Yeah.
But they're
my brother.
they're not bad, but they're not.
See,
good.
I knew this.
They're
was
more of an
gonna happen.
image than a good band, like a band you listen to, like just because you like the music. Kind of you might go to a concert because
Gene Simmons is
Yeah,
done.
yeah. I think of Gene Simmons' tongue more than I think of the actual band.
Well,
Speaking of
that's the whole
tongues-
point. That's the mascot.
Speaking of tongues,
do you
I have nothing. Oh, sorry.
I was like, do you know the song by them, "Going Blind"?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite song.
That's good.
That's a really good song.
Speaking of tongues, has nothing to do with tongues. Number 5, Revolver by the Beatles.
No, it has something to do with
Another great
tongues.
rock. Another great one.
Used to be my favorite album of all time. Has my favorite Beatles song of all time, which is Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, I thought it was the Yellow
That's a
Submarine.
great song.
Who am I, 2?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's the album that paved the way for their psychedelic stuff. Sgt. Pepper and Magical Mystery Tour. I don't know, man. Like, Yellow Submarine, I'm Only Sleeping, Good Day Sunshine. Oh, my God. So many good songs on that. The cover of the album is probably one of the most iconic album covers of all time. I feel like this is the album where, like, Ringo and George got to kind of shine a little bit more than they usually do. I think this one has like 3 George songs on it, and it's got 1 Ringo song, I believe. And that's cool. I think this is the album that kind of allowed them to like put more music on the future albums. Man, I mean, look, the Beatles, they're my favorites, so it's very hard to talk about your favorites without like over exaggerating, hyping someone up and they're disappointed. I feel like Revolver is like an easy album to love. You know, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a perfect album.
I think that's like the most mainstream one, probably. The one that everybody would say.
probably
Yeah,
Abbey
it's
Road, but
Yeah.
I would say Abbey Road, but
I
then
don't
probably Revolver. Sergeant
I
Pepper.
I'd feel like that one's the one they would all pick.
I mean, it's classic. Classic
Yeah.
60s psychedelic rock.
It's good.
Number 4, Riley.
Number 4, Prince, Purple Rain.
Oh,
I've never seen the movie. I just listened to the album. I don't know why I haven't seen the movie.
Seen the movie, never listened to the album.
Me too.
I've never seen the movie.
Uh,
Or listened to the album.
I probably should though, because like I love Prince is one of my favorite solo artists of all time.
Yeah,
He
he's
probably is my favorite solo artist. But there's just too many good songs on that album. Obviously, you know, you got your Purple Rain.
Purple Pain.
God, why are none of the other songs coming to me? Hold on, I'm pulling it up on Spotify real quick.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing
Well, no,
too.
just talk about. You don't have to mention the song.
Oh,
Just talk
but
about the
like-
album.
It just sounds so good. And like the thing about Prince, and I'll talk about it more later because spoiler, there's another Prince album on my list.
What?
Controversial.
He just has a song for any moment. Like if you want to go on a drug trip, dude, boom, Endorphin Machine. It's not on that album, but you're trying to cry your eyes out, boom, When You Were Mine. There's just so much.
When it's raining purple rain, perfect.
Purple Rain,
Perfect
hey,
song.
hey, Purple Rain.
Hey,
I prefer Chocolate
Yeah.
Rain myself.
But Feeling Guilty, Purple Rain. Like, he's done so much. And like I said, it'll come up more again when I talk about him later. Like, Purple Rain in particular is so fucking good, and I can't put it to words. I wish I could.
One of the best
I
albums.
wish I had the brains to put it to words.
I wish I had the
Smooth brain
brains.
moments.
Yeah.
Smooth criminal. Kyle, what's your number 4?
All right, my number 4. All right, so my number 4 is gonna be 6 Degrees of Turbulence by Dream Theater. I fucking love Dream Theater. Or
Mike
6
loves
Degrees
them.
of Inner Turbulence. Sorry.
Like, well,
The Glass Prison on that is fucking amazing. And honestly, it got me into Dream Theater as a band. They have a lot of amazing shit. One of my honorable mentions I forgot to mention was Octavarium, which has a 22-something minute song.
That's Mike's favorite album. of
Yes,
theirs, I
Mike.
believe.
Yes, Mike Perez got me into that.
Yeah.
Actually. Shout out to Merc Rampage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the person that got me started. But
I love you, Mike.
love you, Mike. But
Is he dead?
He wishes.
Okay, he's dead.
yeah, but I've listened to and genuinely I only ever really remember most of Glass Prison from 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. But just the fact that that song in particular got me into all of Dream Theater, it means a lot to me. So the album itself means a lot to me.
It's a good album to you, but it's also like nostalgic.
Well, that's the reason why it's a good album to me. It is a good album. It's just that the most meaning I get from it is the fact that it got me into the band itself.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah, that's just a simple number 4. I don't have much to talk about the songs.
Like what you said.
Yeah, honestly.
My number 4, which was my number 5 a few minutes ago, the self-titled album for Rage Against the Machine. Every single song on this album is just like I can listen to all their songs on the album all day long. I don't know if you guys heard the album, but if I'm just talking, that's the only I've heard of.
I know one song by Rage Against the Machine.
I don't know them. I know of them, but I don't know them. I haven't met them.
Flip you, I won't do.
I met them. They're cool guys. And gals. And dogs. They're really dumb.
And machines that they beat Rage Against.
Technically, I guess this is like a rock rap album, so technically this is my favorite rap album of all time. Doggy Style's number 2.
Oh, stop. You're done. You're done.
Also, one of my favorite songs of all time ends this album, Freedom by Rage Against the Machine. All their songs, especially on this album, the only complaint that I have is that even during the verses, the guitar, like, in the background, is just so good. Every single riff on this album that Tom Morello does, he's one of my favorite guitar players of all time.
He's in Guitar Hero 3. I kicked his ass.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck you, Tom Morello.
Fuck you, Tom
I hate you.
Morello.
Okay, Rage
I
Against the
hate
Machine.
you.
Rage Against the Machine, you're out of the list. I hate you. We're putting
Shrek the
musical soundtrack on.
Roy.
Hey, Shrek the Music
Save
is
this.
that.
What's
I
your
don't know what
4?
you're
Oh, from here on out, they're all
Nice.
fucking Spanish
on.
musicians.
Jack
so-
number 3.
You get some water in your eyebrow.
It's glistening.
All right, so my number 4 is a Banda, of course. Hey, Joe, where you at? You want to hear my Banda?
I can't believe you guys keep saying Mamba Banda. God, you guys are fucking idiots. Stop, you stupid fucking dirty baby.
Why does he sound like fucking Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, because that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No!
No! You
Well,
talk about your...
The Banda is called Bandas Silomes, MS for short, and the album is called No Me Pidas Perdón, which is don't
I've heard
ask
of
me
that.
to be sorry. Oh, did you?
Yeah. Does it have Selena on it?
No!
Then I haven't heard of it.
But I know what you're talking about, actually. Hey, Selena may or may not.
She's
Actually,
good.
she's not.
She's
She's
really-
not. She's not.
What?
No, she's not.
Shameful.
Viri viri bamba. I'll cry right now. Queen. So like I said, when I was a kid, I hated this music. I hated these type of music. I didn't want anything to deal with them. Every time I went to work, I listened to Banda nonstop, and I just couldn't handle it. And then, as I got older, I appreciated it more, and then I just fell in love with the genre, and this is one of my favorite. Yeah, here I am, doing a podcast with
Talking
four
about Banda.
Mongoloids.
Bondaloids?
Bondaloids.
Bleep it out!
No, I'm not gonna fucking edit it out.
Number 4. I'm interested. I'll check them out. You know.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
What is it?
Number 4. Fleetwood Mac's Rumors.
Fleetman. Axe.
I think it's like their only album that people like. You know what I mean? Like it's the only album where it's got like a perfect. It's a perfect album. Every other album theirs is like great. It's great. It's great. But it's like there's some songs that aren't bangers. This has Go Your Own Way. This has Dreams. This has
Does it have Tusk?
Yes, I believe it does actually.
Oh.
It's got so many great songs. Stevie Nicks is my favorite female singer. She's a witch. We're not going to talk about that. That's for a conspiracy theory podcast episode, perhaps.
But hey, that's
Shut up! We're not promoting him. Shut up. They have the they have a perfect blend of folk, rock, bluesy. Song. Have you guys listened to Rumors?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you?
Probably listen to like every song.
Kyle
Have
just
you?
spilled water all over his pants, and now it looks
Yes,
like he...
I love Fleetwood Mac.
They're great.
You would be on the podcast.
Wait. You've never listened to Rumors?
No, not way through. I've listened to a lot of
We'll
songs.
have to do
Most
that.
of the songs on
As
there.
long as you've listened, because I haven't, I probably have listened all the way
Probably,
through.
I
I think
probably-
we've
I
listened to it
couldn't name
together,
all of them.
to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably.
We probably have, but
Maybe I
I'm
have
sure
some,
I've listened
actually.
through
But I couldn't
Rumors,
name
just
all.
not on Rumors.
they're not all of them are coming to me. But let's stand. I mean, Go Your Own
Oh,
Way.
come on. Yeah.
Everyone
Go Your
knows
Own
Go Your Own Way. I mean,
Great song.
it's their best album. It combines the bluesy folk with the rock and the kind of psychedelics, little bit.
Their weird shit.
The weird tone that they have, and it works perfectly. It melds together. Each song kind of progresses into another. It feels like it's a story. It feels like you're reading a chapter book.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Oh, number 3. Also another live change.
Holy shit! This is the first.
For the second time ever on Save It for the
Yes.
podcast.
Sticks Gold.
Is that a compilation album?
I think it is. It doesn't matter. I love it. It's got all the hits. It's got your Come Sail Away. It's got your Renegade. But the one song that really stands out to me, just Rock and Roll Feeling. I don't know why I love that song so much.
Has a good feeling.
I'm gonna punch you later.
Maybe. Coopy coop.
And then I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I don't know, just everything about that album I love. It's so good. And like I said, I'm not smart enough to say, what exactly I like about it. Just, it really makes you feel like you Sticks, It really gives you that Sticks feeling.
Don't ask. They're
Making fun of
Andrew Revel.
Hey, Andrew, how's it going? I'm hate
Andrew,
you.
fucking bitch.
Hey, Andrew, look, we're on our 4th episode.
Hey, we have a special guest with Kyle, too.
We have a live studio
I have
audience.
600 followers, pussy. How many
He's
do you have?
never going to listen to this, and I'm glad.
Good.
He's listened to 30 seconds of our first episode. He said that was it.
What a
He said
fucking
he listened to 30
idiot.
seconds of it and then disliked it.
Yeah, this is the one disliked on our
I
channel.
got it in 1 week.
But nobody cares.
No, I'm
no,
fucking with you. It took me months.
I don't want to say anything rude. So, Sticks, you like
but-
Sticks.
Yes, I love Styx. Styx is one of my favorite bands of all time. I know I said Prince is one of my favorite solo artists, but probably the equivalent would probably either be Electric Light Orchestra or Styx. And this album just solidifies everything that I love about Styx. It's got the beautiful voice. It's got a little bit of everything.
Perfect.
I'm sure you put on this album, you'll find something that you like. And if you don't, you can come find me and I will make you like
Come
something.
sail away with him.
Yes.
Kyle?
All right, so
Live change?
No.
Thank
No,
God.
Absolutely not.
The
My
buzzer just died, so
I
we can't do it anymore.
Yeah. The buzz has that. But my third best album, third favorite, Teal album by Weezer. The Teal album is amazing. I know you haven't listened to it.
I don't listen to anything by them.
But you have to. You definitely have to because it's got all the '80s jams. Africa, as everyone knows, the cover of Africa they did. I believe it's what sparked this. Some girl kept telling them to cover it as like kind of like a meme.
And they did it.
They did it.
I love it. Okay.
Because I love Weezer. They're great. They got Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I'm gonna go through the whole list because they're all bangers. Sweet Dreams by Arithmetics. Take on Me.
By my favorites. One of our favorites.
Come on. Happy Together.
Who sings that?
Fuck. I don't.
No, okay, keep going.
Hey, it's Phone and Bueller time.
Yeah. But while you look it up.
The Turtles. Or Gerard Way, I don't know. That's that popped up.
Gerard Turtle. Go on.
Gerard Turtle. Okay, well, me and you.
You've already convinced me.
Paranoid.
Yeah.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah,
their
I
Mr.
love
Blue
Mr.
Sky
Sky.
was pretty
It
good.
was pretty solid. It's either solid or above average for the cover.
Not great, but
no
pretty good.
Scrubs.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
Okay.
That they got Billie Jean and Stand By Me, which are probably the weakest ones. Personally,
I like
Stand By Me.
A lot of people like Stand By Me. I didn't like it.
Their weakest one, in my opinion, was Africa, but that's just because I like every other song on that album infinitely more. And that Africa's just so much of a meme, and it's nice to be able to.
I think it's probably because I liked Africa before it was a meme that I.
You and I were
Well,
about
I
to
liked
write a
it before it was a
movie
meme
surrounding
too,
that song, if
Yes,
you
we
remember.
were.
I remember
I
you
do.
telling me about that at Andrew's
He was
house.
the guy I was writing it with.
Yep.
Yeah. But Billie Jean probably one of the weaker ones on it. I still listen to it. And I still love it because this entire album is fucking amazing.
All right, I'll check.
Definitely give it a listen. Anyone that's listening to this probably already has because I force them to listen to it almost daily.
I like that. Jeremy, 3.
Number 3, which is probably the most replayable album.
Titanic
on my
soundtrack.
List. What?
Titanic soundtrack.
No, the Pearl Harbor
Is that your number
soundtrack.
1?
Hey.
I hope it is.
Pearl Harbor soundtrack.
The Pearl Harbor soundtrack.
Hey, you hit me! That's a story for another day.
dog.
So that's my number 3, guys.
Come on, it's hot. Speed it up. We gotta go play pee-pee ball.
Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age. Love this.
Album
Queens of the
keep
Stone Age.
fucking playing in your car.
What?
You keep playing that album in your car.
Because that's such a good album. It could move up to number 1 one day.
Number
I don't know.
0 in a dumpster.
Number 0. Every song on this album, I love. I think they have like my favorite
I
sound.
like their sound.
Their sound, I love. Probably more than any other band. You ate your words, just like Andrew.
No, he didn't. Oh, you don't need to know Andrew.
You do know Andrew.
Oh yeah. Never mind. Yeah.
You don't need to know him to hate him.
Great. Queens of Stone Age.
You got No One Knows.
Alright,
which
audience,
everyone
if you know a
knows.
guy named Andrew, kill him.
Fuck him.
Everyone knows.
Hey,
No One Knows.
Not even there, Andrew. Just if you know Andrew.
Of what you've played in your car, I really like it. I like the noise.
If I play Go With The Flow, that's my favorite one.
Probably.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. That's
We
probably
should do a top
5.
10 songs.
Yeah, that could.
But that would be difficult as hell.
There's-
So many great songs.
Yeah.
You want to come back to that one?
I'd come back to that one.
I like that.
It
So-
would be mostly Weezer.
Fine.
Even the acoustic
And Africa.
song. Even the acoustic song that ends the album, the Mosquito song. Usually when you have like a hard rock album where it's just banger after banger after banger, and then you end it with like some acoustic song, usually it just sucks and takes you out of the album. Even that is a fucking masterpiece of a song. I love the album.
Solid. Banda.
No, it's not Banda. It's just that was only one Banda band and
Oh, you wrote Banda in that section.
yeah, and then now it's like solo artists,
I like it.
Spanish people. The next one is gonna be an older guy. His name is Jose
Selena?
Jose.
Selena.
No, I said
Selena
older
Gomez.
guy.
Luis Fonsi?
Selena Gomez.
Luis
Luis
Fonsi?
Fonsi.
Hey,
Hey, he was gonna be in my top 5 because I like him a lot. Too bad he became a meme, which is unfortunate.
He's got a good voice, but Despacito exists.
all right,
so.
go on.
Unfortunately.
Jose Jose. was gonna say is a guy. He had a bad childhood. Like all great musicians.
all we did.
He's terrible. His
Tragic life
dad
story.
never believed in it. His mom, he got beat to a pulp. But he still wrote music, and I loved all of his music. It's just so like he has a lot of romantic music, but tragic too, and it's like you feel for him, and you feel it for yourself too because you can relate.
You feel the emotion.
And so, it's hard picking an album out of him because all of it is really good. It's just like different time periods and it's different styles.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is Lo Esencial, which is the essential or the essential. Well, I don't know what it means in English.
The essential.
It has one of my favorite songs from him, which is El Triste, which is like a song where it's like how sad that you were abandoned by your like wife or girlfriend or whatever, and he just keeps saying like how sad, but in Spanish it's like it's hard to translate Spanish music to English because it's weird translations, but it's just saying like how depressed, and it's like this slow beat, and he's talking very soft, and then there's this like gap where it's just the music playing, and it's really great. He knows how like be quiet, and then the music plays, and he goes back, and then just it's great. And I just really like him a lot, and I love this cover because it has a lot of great classics. Yeah, I like him.
Solid. My number 3 little artist called Jilly Bull. The Stranger. Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
Another album where it feels like
I just get Billy Joel.
Hey, why are there toilets in the Jewel room?
unfollow Twitch.
They already unsubbed, man.
All 20 of my followers are gone.
I think that it's another album. Have you guys listened to this album before?
Yes.
I know you have.
What was that one again?
The Stranger.
I don't think so.
It's another album where it feels like Rumors. It feels like every song transitions to each other. Billy Joel is just one of the best. The best piano player. He's the piano man. If you guys didn't know.
Oh, really?
He's one of the best singers. He's got such a He's so versatile in his voice and how he can like do low and do high. And that album, I think, feels. I feel like it feels very personal to him because it's. There's a song in there called "Scenes from the Italian Restaurant." It's probably his most personal song in the fact that it feels like this album as a whole, but feels like it's personal to him because it's like maybe him like telling how he grew up, like with the movie Mean Streets that Jeremy watched. It's very personal for Scorsese because that's how he grew up. I feel like this album's like showcasing like the struggles of becoming an artist and becoming like who he is now, and I feel like that album encapsulates that whole idea of Billy Joel the best. Nothing really left to be said. All I think like there's 13 tracks on there. Probably my top 30, 40, 50 Billy Joel songs ever. It's a perfect album. What can I say? Number 2, we're nearing it.
Almost done.
Speed it up a little bit.
It's really hot.
Speed it up, boys.
And I have these headphones on. They're black, and I want to die.
They're mine.
Speed it up.
Okay,
Kyle's.
Number 2, Prince, The Gold Experience. A lot of people that like Prince, they sleep on this album, and I really don't know why. It's got so many good songs. Obviously, Gold is the one that sticks out the most, just because it's a 7-minute long banger about being inspirational and shit. But then you have what I mentioned before. You have Endorphin Machine, which is literally a drug trip, and it's just the contrast between each of his songs on this album in particular. I love it. And I keep coming back to it no matter how many times I listen to it. Like, the only album I listen to more than The Gold Experience is my number 1 album. But, yeah, it good.
Kyle?
It good. All right,
And
number 2.
good.
Take a gander. It's the Blue Album by Weezer. That's probably one of their best albums of all time. Their first album.
I think.
It is.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's my favorite too.
Really?
And it's probably everyone's favorite, but not mine. Because spoiler alert, the number one's gonna be fucking Weezer. Obviously, it just
I'm
doesn't.
surprised. I'm
It's
proud.
It's nothing wrong with the Blue Album because the Blue Album has my favorite song by Weezer, which is "Only in Dreams." It's the final song. It is a very fantastic. It's an 8-minute long song. It's mostly instrumental.
Sold.
Mostly.
So is that a good album to start off with?
Fucking the Blue album?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, I'll give it a listen.
It's their best album. And I agree, it's probably their best album. It just doesn't have as
My
much
favorite.
meaning to me. But Only in Dreams, my favorite song of all time. It's actually probably one of the weaker ones because, you got Say It Ain't So. You
I will
got...
not go. Turn the lights out.
No, we're not doing that. I hate Blink-182.
Carry me home.
I hate
Blink
Oh, yeah, they're
Where
all...
are you? And I'm so
Michelle
sorry.
Obama, where are you? Oh,
Where there be.
where'd they be? Mrs. Obama.
We
Say It Ain't
ended
So's on there.
racism.
Fantastic
Obama,
song.
get
I
down.
couldn't sing every song in that album. Actually, I could sing every song on pretty much most of the albums by heart. That's not a good point. But I could sing every song on there by fucking heart. I love that fucking album. And I'm not even going to go into the songs. Everyone's heard them. They're all great.
I haven't, so I'll have to give it a whirl.
Wow. what
Maybe
the
I'll
fuck.
buy when we go out, Blu-ray hunting, maybe I'll find the
Honestly,
CD.
You, yeah, I own the CD myself. But,
You don't own anything.
you probably heard songs.
I probably have, but I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
known.
you'll be like, oh, I've heard this. Oh, I've heard this.
Jeremy.
Holiday's underrated too.
This is where I don't know, because if whatever your number 2 is, I don't know your number 1. But when you say your number 2 and it's not my guess, then I know your number 1. So this will be interesting.
Number 2, for the longest time was my number 1, but now it's my number 2. Walls and Bridges by John Lennon is my number 2
That was
favorite
my
album
guess.
of all
That was
time.
my guess. Tell the story of how you got to like that album, by the way.
I think you should, Toaster. I think you know more than these guys.
Well, I'm a big John Lennon fan, and I really didn't have anyone to talk music with when I was in high school. But Jeremy, I could talk movies and music with all the time. And Jeremy he was getting into different types of music, and I would recommend him albums. And me being the big John Lennon fan I am, I said, Walls and Bridges, check it out, it's great. And here we are talking about it. And
Every song on this album, it just gets, it's like you think, oh, this is one of my favorite songs of all time. And then the next one just gets better. It's better. It's better.
what's your favorite song off that album?
Number 9 Dream.
It's mine too.
Yep.
That's my favorite song.
It was my favorite song of all time for a little while, actually. But Old Dirt Road is really fucking good.
So sad.
Oh yeah.
Melancholy.
Bless You.
Nobody
Bless
loves you.
Nobody Loves You. Going Down in Love, one of the best opening tracks on any album of all time.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. What's the one I was thinking of?
Scared.
Scared. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Sitting in the ya, babe. That 1 minute song. That's great too. That's not even great.
Another honorable mention is Double Fantasy. Another fantastic
Good one.
album.
That was the first one I ever listened to.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I remember. Oh, and What You Got.
You don't know what you got. Yeah.
Yeah, that song.
Yeah,
That song
yeah.
was like I wasn't used to. I didn't expect him to sing like that with like kind of screaming in a way.
It's another album where he uses his pain to make it. It's great.
I like how we're trying to speed this up, but there's no way. These are our favorite fucking
These are no
albums.
way. It's how it was with the top 10 movies.
Yeah.
God, it was. I
Those
think
are our longest.
It's just hard.
Well,
Exactly.
this is the longest. We're in 2 hours in.
who cares?
It's a podcast. They can
Yeah.
They can listen to
Long as
while they
shit.
clean their dishes.
for 2 hours.
Hey,
Lot
make
of
sure you
dishes.
scrub really well.
Yeah.
I know you're not.
Hey, scrub those toilets well, guys.
Get behind the ear.
Yeah, Number 9 Dream, one of the
Tanner, I'm watching
most
you eating
beautiful
the
songs
top.
ever written. This whole album is one of the most powerful albums ever, and also one of the most beautiful albums ever. Just both those combined. And John Lennon is my favorite Beatle solo artist that I've listened to so far.
Favorite solo artist? One of them.
One of them from the Beatles. I was.
Oh, gotcha.
Specifically saying, yeah, and probably George second, and then Paul.
Switch Paul and Ringo, and then you got mine for solo. I need to get into Paul. I did when I was younger, and it just wasn't for me. But I feel like now that I'm older,
Yeah, I haven't really gotten much into Ringo, so I don't really know.
you gotta listen to
Why am I
self-titled.
sweating so much?
Number 2,
Probably
Roy.
'cause it's hot.
Number 2.
I'm not sweating at all.
So my top 2, the top 2 albums are off my top 2 favorite bands, like Spanish bands.
I'm kind of sweating.
They're like rock.
Yeah.
Like just soft. Well, they're both kind of different. They're really different. They like mix and stuff, but they've been my favorite ever since I discovered my own music and what I liked. And that's Sin Bandera, which is the band, which means without flag in English. And their album that I really love to death, that I hear until now, that came out in 2007, I still hear it every fucking day, every waking moment of my life, is Hasta Ahora, which is within this moment, or in this hour, or there's a lot of translations in English. And there's a lot of great songs, and they're also like another like romantic, but like tragic, like sad band. I don't know what is it with me with like romantic and like sad shit. I don't know why I like that shit a lot, but I really do. And especially like in like Spanish, they're like, I feel like Spanish is known for like making good like sad and like good romance songs. I feel like they're like really good. Their culture, how it is, and I guess it's just in the DNA. But I listened to this band when I was like really young, and they weren't really popular when I first listened to them. Now they are. They're like really huge. They're doing a tour with them and my other favorite band like together, which is a dream come true for me. Never gone. Never will go. Nobody wants to go with me. What's up with you guys? Fuck you.
I don't want to.
No one likes you.
No matter how much I love Weezer, I'll never go to a concert because I don't like going outside. So.
Yeah, well,
You're outside right now.
I know how you feel then. Well, I'll never go and see them. But I just love like their beat. They're like how smooth they can be, but then they can be like kind of hardy sometimes. And then they just change from time to time. They're both vocalists. One's like in the piano, the other one's like in the guitar or doing something else. But it's always like they're piano based, but they play around with the piano. They just play around with like soft music and they make it into something else. And I just love how they're popular now, and they kind of deserve all the popularity in Spain and Mexico and or wherever else Spanish speaking is. It's great. If you're a Spanish speaker guy, Hispanic, Mexican, fucking retarded.
Spanish speaker guy.
Spanish.
What are those called?
Not me, that's for sure.
I think that those are them Italians, right?
Hey, yeah, you're right. The Italians.
I need to bleep that out.
I mean, it's not. You didn't use any slurs.
No, I didn't. You can fucking say that.
Yeah, you could say it.
Wait, what
I
did
didn't
you
know
say?
Italian was a
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
Oh,
I'll tell you what he did. We didn't say though.
we don't
He
condone.
didn't say.
Oh,
Number two.
I gotcha.
Number 2.
No, don't worry. We're good.
Number 2. Oh, there, Colonel. Walls and Bridges. John Lennon.
Oh shit! I heard this one. I heard it. I know it.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too.
It might be your second favorite album of all time.
It very well could be.
I'm not going to say
Hey, wouldn't
anything
that be wacky?
because I talked about it.
Yeah.
All I was going to say is Number 9 Dreams is my favorite song of all time. And it's John Lennon's best. And it's most underrated because people don't think it's his best at all. We're the only ones, I think,
Yeah,
that I know of.
yeah. That's supposed to be in like the
weaker
bottom,
half.
weaker half of his career. No idea who the fuck thinks that.
Exactly.
Well,
It just
you
shows
should
the
meet him.
greatest discography is.
Yeah.
Number 1. Finally.
Number 1.
So,
Oh no.
when Jack told me last night, prepare a top 5 list, you might be on the Bullers cast tomorrow.
Save it for the
Bullers
podcast.
Cast.
Save for the podcast.
Bullers. That's
Bullers cast. I like that.
Oh, well.
There's gotta be a thing
late.
already.
Regardless, there was one album that came to mind
Bullcast.
as my favorite album. All the other ones, it took a little bit of deliberation, but I kind of quickly got to it. Black Veil Brides, Wretched and Divine.
Black
Story of
Veil
Love.
Brides.
I have not listened to Black Veil Brides as an emo, angsty kid since about junior year. But even then, this is the one album I will still go back to by any of the emo bands. It's a brilliant album. It's a Pink Floyd album for seeing kids. It's
Bold statement.
well, I say that because you have to listen to it in one go, back to back, sequence to sequence, because it tells a story.
What's the album?
Wretched and Divine.
Maybe I heard of
Can't
it.
say
I know the band. I've heard of their stuff.
I heard the band. I haven't heard the album.
You've probably heard people give shit because it's edgy emo music, but
I mean,
regardless, it tells a brilliant and beautiful story about the legacy that we leave when we're gone. That's what it kind of builds up to. It's all about it kind of establishes itself as, you know, this rebellious, you know, kind of what you'd expect.
Yeah.
But it ends on this note. It ends with the song called "In the End," and it's about the legacy that you leave when
that's
you're gone.
right.
The first lyric is "In the end, as we
Park.
fade into the night, who will tell your story of your life?" Also, yes, Kyle Lee. It is a beautiful album.
Kylie.
I would-
Kylie?
You seen it.
It's your favorite. That's all you say.
If I had to recommend one song to like non-emo people, listen to Overture. It's just a minute and 38 seconds of beautiful, beautiful violin music, and it's just. But if you are willing to take a chance on that,
I like minute
on that
songs.
edgier stuff, I would try "Lost It All," "In the End," or "New Year's Day." Those are my.
I've heard all of those songs. I heard of that band and of their songs.
It brings a tear to old Ronnie Reagan's eye every time.
Ronnie Reagan. Kyle?
All right, my number one. It's an easy one. Pinkerton album by Weezer.
Definitely.
Pinkerton album is.
Didn't expect the Weezer pick.
Yeah,
Wait,
no, you didn't.
No Red Album?
The Red Album's okay, but it's not.
Hey, it might be my favorite, you know.
No, it won't.
No, it's not.
Hey, it could be my number one. You don't know
Hey,
that.
Colton would have Pacific Daydream up there.
He would, and I hate him for that. Hey, Colton, you'll never listen to this, so fuck you.
Yeah,
Pacific
fuck
Daydream,
you,
the Black
Colton.
Album, they're all shit. I hate them.
Fuck you, Colton.
Fuck you, Colton.
Gets a call. You're fired.
Yes!
Jackpot!
Then Andrew can't find someone else to get in the ride.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, the Pinkerton album is probably weaker than the Blue Album in terms of music, but just the fact that I just know so much about it and the time I started listening to it.
You don't know much about anything.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So the Pinkerton album is probably what got me into Weezer in and of itself from Good Life. Used to watch a TF2 YouTuber, got me into it.
Other plug-in. All right.
We don't need to plug them. And the Good Life, I started to listen to it over and over again. I was like, oh, I should. I was working at Amazon. I fucking hated my job. And while working there, I got dumped. And Pinkerton album, perfect song.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Perfect
right.
song for getting dumped, by the way. So if you're ever getting dumped, you know what to do.
I've been dumped before.
Shut the fuck up.
Dumped in
Getting
their
dumped would
trash.
require a girlfriend.
Shut up.
Anyway, after, I used to think some of the songs were pretty weak, and they are. There's some fairly weak ones, like Tired of Sex isn't that great. This guy went to fucking Harvard, and he's talking about how he's tired of sex. Yeah, right, nerd. And
Okay,
Maybe
he's
he
a
went to
kid.
Harvard because he was.
Oh,
Maybe he's a genius.
That's for all you
He
mental
is.
pump
Probably
fans.
just didn't.
he graduated Harvard. Rivers Cuomo is a fucking genius. He's a fucking nerd.
Maybe that's why.
You know Marcus talked to him on Snapchat before?
Yeah, I know. He's so
Yeah.
lucky.
Shameless plug for Mark's Snapchat.
But, anyway, I know not only are the songs on the album good, the extras, the side B, songs.
Side B is usually never that great, but like
They're great. I
That's-
love them. There's one where Rivers isn't even the main lead singer. It's some chick, and I don't know who the chick is. I've never. It was, and it's
a
got
finder.
synth.
find her.
Think of Weezer with synth. Old Weezer. New Weezer probably has synth, but all the time because they're like EDM now. They're terrible.
I have to think of old and new.
But old Weezer was has always been that garage band rock, and
Yeah.
now you had like synth and shit in Pink. There was like, and this was back in the day one of their worst albums. Like after their second album, it's their second album after the Blue Album. When it came out, it was not that good. No one really liked it, and Rivers locked himself in his room and painted everything black, and painted over his mirrors and shit. He got really edgy. I don't know about the mirror thing, but he definitely painted his entire room black, shut out all his windows and stuff. I know so much about this album and how it was planned to have a story, and you can kind of hear it even in the album itself, let alone the extras. The extras do give more of an insight into that. But the lead-in from Pink Triangle into Falling For You, which any fucking album that has a lead-in from one song to another that's perfectly seamless is a fucking bomb. I don't care what anyone says.
We'll be talking
You'll
about
probably
one.
like Wretched and Divine then, because there are a couple of songs like that do that. The first actual song on the album, because the first actual song is an intro sort of that they do that throughout the album. But it's it goes like the last notes of the first song are
The
first
beginning to the yes.
you would probably love that.
But
It's a personal.
And not only that, but they have Easter eggs in the fucking CD case I bought of the
Wait.
Easter eggs. I opened up the album and I saw like behind like where the CD rests, like under where you can pop it in. If you remove that, there's a map of some area. It looks like a very like zoomed in map of the world. I don't know where it is, but there's a ship on it. It's called the USS Pinkerton. That's probably why it got the album's name. You have to remove the fucking cover off of the album. Like I had to like pop it out.
You had to break the CD to get.
I love this album so much, and it's mostly not even because of the music. The music's great. I just love the album.
Jeremy,
My number one album is Walls and Bridges by John.
Hey, I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's my top 10 worst. We'll do that one day. Look at his face. So, my number one favorite album of all time.
I'm very scared for this.
Is an album called Lateralis by my favorite band, Tool. If you like Dream Theater, there's like progressive. Like
no, I like Weezer.
Oh, yeah.
Are you in a relationship? No, I like Weezer.
Hey, you play football?
No,
I play jazz.
No, you play football? No, I listen to Weezer.
No, I listen to jazz.
You like jazz?
Shout out to Miles Davis. Kind of blue for me.
Shout out to Buddy Guy too.
Hey, Joe!
I heard
Buddy Guy likes Buddy Guy!
It's hot. Let's go. Let's wrap it up.
Every song on this album is at least like 6 minutes long, 7 minutes long. Every single song, just you hear the first song and you're like, this is one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. And then the next one comes, it's even better than that one. It's better. You start off with The Grudge, which is like an 8-minute long song about like starting a new chapter in your life and letting go of all your grudges in the past. And it's talking about some weird metaphorical shit about the planets and whatever. I don't even fucking know. It's Tool, so who knows. Then you go right into The Patient, which is about,
a patient?
Being patient for your own death.
Oh.
We're all waiting to die.
You were close.
Yeah. And then you go to Schism, which is probably the one most people have heard of this album. That's like a 6-minute long song. That song changes time signatures 47 times throughout a 6-minute song. It holds the record for the most like changes in time signature, and that's a fantastic song. Then you go to Parable and Parabola, which is even better than that. And then you end off the album with an 11-minute. Well, it's a 25-minute song, but it's cut up into 3 songs that all mesh together. But the middle song in there, called Reflection, is this 11-minute long song where basically just like I can listen to this song and you just space out for 11 minutes. Basically the whole album is you space out for like an hour and like 20 minutes. And it's just every single song has something to like teach you, something to like reflect upon, and like this is the album that gets me like thinking most about like my life and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't think?
Yeah, I don't think very often.
You don't
when I
really
do, it's while I'm listening to Lateralis by Tool.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, exactly.
If that doesn't get anyone to want to listen to it, I don't know what will.
Perfect album. There's a song called Ticks and Leeches where he's talking about like sucking and fucking, and that's great.
You're a fan of that.
I'm a fan of that. I gave Nymphomaniac a 5, so hey.
Roy, you're number 1.
I also gave Gotti a 3.5, so.
Oh my god, don't remind me of Gotti. So, I like how Kyle's just playing on a Nintendo Switch.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. We're almost done, buddy. We're almost hitting the nail.
Hey, the lag. The lag.
Oh, the lag. Hey, the input lag. How's it going? Why are you losing?
Wait. I hope you didn't get any ammonia poisoning on that.
Oh my god.
Okay, so my number 1 is based off another
the one episode
Spanish band.
I hope so.
Go on.
Shit.
Airplane. Oh god, that's low.
That's very loud.
We'll need to edit that out. Guest our shout out.
Oh, shout out to American Airlines.
What is it? What did I make him forget? that existed in German class. I made someone
Southwest Airlines.
Southwest Airlines wasn't an airline that doesn't exist.
He made Dirk, he made Gonzalo and CJ forget this.
I made them think that a whole airline didn't exist. Delta Airlines.
Yeah.
It was
Delta
Airlines.
That's right.
Oh my
Shout
god.
out to Delta Airlines. All right, wrap it up. Let's go.
All right, my number one is Camila, Spanish band, and the album is shit, I forgot. Déjate de Amar, which is like let me.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I speak the language and I didn't even catch it.
Just it just means stop loving me.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you, Weezer, baby
Okay,
boy.
Now I hear it. Now that you've said the
Weezer,
translation, now I'm like kind of going back.
All right.
Oh, so the reason why I love this band and why I love this album specifically is what started me going into all this shit. I got into soft rock, pop rock, all this weird
Hawk,
variation.
Rock,
Hawk, Rob Schneider.
That's it.
I got me all into that.
That's the one that started it all.
And it's like another band with like tragic romance again. I don't know why I'm so. I don't know why I love it so much.
You're a lover.
I guess. You know, it's starting to really piss me off.
You know,
Really starting to piss me off.
You want to know what's not going to piss me off?
what?
His number one
Abbey Road, number one. Baby.
Yeah!
Everyone knew it. Every single one of you.
I knew
Everyone
it.
Knew it. It is the best album of all time.
Correct.
I'm not going to talk about side A because everyone talks about side A. We're going to talk about side B.
I'm not gonna talk about side
Good
A.
job.
You're gonna talk about
Fucking
side A.
royally.
I'm gonna talk about side B.
Side B, the Abbey Road melody, where Kyle was saying where each song just kind of progresses into another.
Hmm?
The melody does that too. You go from You Never Give Me Your Money, and you end off at the end. It's the perfect 23, 24-minute song. My favorite bit is the Golden Slumbers bit. That's the most beautiful song I think I've ever heard in my life. Everyone loves Abbey Road. Perfect album. Something by George Harrison. I Want You, She's So Heavy. Come Together. I mean, what the fuck? Come Together. Octopus Garden's even good. Sun King. Chef Kiss. At Abbey Road. I want to go to that. I want to go to that where they took the picture of the color. I want to go to that. That is my favorite album.
Wants to go to Abbey Road.
It's been my favorite album since I was, I think, 14.
When you came out of the womb.
Yeah, when I came out of the womb. And with that, that's top 10 albums. I think we should refrain from a story tonight. We're about to die from a heat stroke.
Christ.
Kyle,
Next episode will be in a hospital.
Kyle, thank you for joining us today.
Wait. Hold on.
Oh, wait.
What's that, Kyle? You have a story?
Oh, you have
What's
a story?
that?
Okay.
You
perfect.
have something funny to say?
Yeah.
Send off?
Perfect.
What?
Send us off.
What's the shit? What was that? Were we gonna do the dick story? Because that's a very short story.
That's fine. It's hot.
That's perfect.
It's hot. Get
Dude,
us out of
I'm
here.
dying.
Okay. Well, for a very short story for your first send off, as me and Jeremy are at work, people are coming in. We're watching Nymphomaniac, which is a
So two different types of coming.
yeah. There is a scene where the main character, a nymphomaniac, is talking about how she thought a lot about dicks. And Lars, come on, guy's a genius. He's like, I'm gonna throw some dicks up on screen. And for about a whole minute,
Yes.
Minute and a half.
maybe more, it felt like a lot longer than it probably was.
Because people were walking in.
Because people were walking in and seeing us. But this one girl that regularly comes up and talks, who
We hate her.
we hate.
Oh, is it
Hey.
Nunez?
Yeah,
That
Heather
little
Nunez.
chick? Heather-
Fuck you.
Okay, probably don't use full names.
There's so
Nether
many,
Hunes.
there are so many Nether Bunezes out there.
Bunez.
Smart man. Anyways, fuck you. Stop talking to me. I'm too nice to tell her to fuck off.
Yeah, me too.
Just did.
But
Yeah, fuck off, Heather.
yeah, fuck off, Heather.
Jesus.
She comes
Dude,
up and
I
all
hate
that
her.
is on Jeremy's phone is just dicks.
Dick after
Flashing
dick
dick
after
after
dick
dick after dick.
Dick.
And she's just like, what are you guys watching? And I'm just like, oh, just watching a movie. Please go away. I hate you. And she did. And I was so happy we were watching this movie at that moment so that we could get this lady to just leave us alone.
So if you ever have anybody you don't want to talk to you, just watch
Nymphomaniac in front of them, and they
I like
will.
that.
Can I
be
get the
disgusting.
timestamp so I know what scene?
No, I
You
gotta watch. No, you have to watch it.
69 minutes in.
Yeah.
I've seen Nymphomaniac. I
What?
want to cry.
Okay.
We watched that in college.
I don't want to know. I don't.
We also watched Who's the Warmest Color.
Our boss
Out in
has
the
seen that, too.
cluster.
Our boss Colton.
Yeah, he
shout out to
never-
Colton.
So do mine, actually.
I
One
know
of
we
my
told
bosses.
you. I know we
We already
told you
to fuck you that
uh,
you listen to shit music, but we love you.
But hey, at least you
I
watch
don't know you, but I love you, Colton.
With that, Kyle, thank you for joining us. Thank
Follow
you,
me on twitch.tv/BeatYeah, BeatYeah.
Riley.
Thanks for
you.
the fucking plug-in, you fucking...
Thank you
bag
for.
of
You're welcome.
I love you.
Thank you to our guests or our live audience, Riley. Thank you for being here. Joe, Mitch, you suck.
Hey,
guys,
Mitch, what's your favorite album?
I just like to say, Get a Grip by Despacito. That's my favorite album.
Hey, Mitch, where's that Angel Melancholy review?
My favorite.
Did you even watch
Oh my
it?
god, stop. That was too perfect.
That was pretty good.
That's his laugh he makes when he's like laughing, but he's crying.
See, my laugh
Jeremy,
is
Roy, you got
crying.
anything to say? We have no clue what we're doing the next episode on.
Oh, shit.
We won't tell him. We won't tell him.
Surprise!
Save it for the podcast.
Yeah, we'll save
With
it for
that,
the podcast.
Mitch, Joe ain't here. What?
No. We already have a brand and everything. It's too late.
4 episodes in.
No, it's too late.
Wait, what is it?
You were saying something about Bull's Cast. I don't know.
That's stupid.
Okay.
Too late.
Joe.
Done.
Mitch, who's not here. Joe was here. Jeremy, Roy. Thank you for joining at the round table, my brethren.
It's
Square
not even
table.
So it's rectangular, actually.
Rain
Our
King.
two
It's
guests. Yeah, edge is round.
Hey,
Hey,
It's
you're,
ovular.
you can go around it.
You can
With-
go around pretty much anything, though.
with that being said, I'm Jack.
Oh, shit. Oh, is the recording?